This is Bursey Armstrong, a father of three who is often out of town for work, leaving his children and pregnant girlfriend alone. Armstrong and his girlfriend, radio host Tasheka Young, were expecting their third child together, even though their relationship was deteriorating. Armstrong wanted to relocate, while Young wanted to stay near family and her own job. Young had confided in her mother that Armstrong was becoming more violent and had recently pulled a gun on her. When Young tried to break things off and threatened to take custody of their children, Armstrong shot her twice before fleeing the apartment, leaving his two toddlers with the body of their mother.
Hey, Mr. Armstrong, this is Detective Kelsey. Okay, my partner. Again, I'm Detective Martin.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
I'm
Nice to
Detective
meet you as
Martin.
First name's Bursey, B-U-R-S-E-Y?
Yes.
Armstrong, 41889?
Yes.
Okay, what's a good address for you?
But right now I'm just visiting. I actually took a job up north. I stay in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
And I came in town to make sure I could get my FMLA documents and stuff so I could go back to work.
Oh, I got you. What's a good cell phone number for you? Who's that through? What carrier?
That is Verizon.
Okay. Is there any other numbers for you, or is that the...
No, that's my primary number.
Okay. You got any other cell phone numbers or any other way to contact you, or is that the best way to get hold of you?
That's the best way to get hold of me.
How long have you been using that number?
Maybe since December, probably.
Since December? Okay, of 21?
Yes.
Alright, listen, obviously, I'm very sorry. I don't know what all you know and what you don't know, okay? But you know, obviously something bad had happened in that apartment, okay? So I'd like to have a conversation with you to see...
Sorry about it.
I'm going to get into all that, okay? But I want to have a conversation with you to see if you can help me figure out what happened tonight, okay? But before we do that, we are sitting in an interview room, okay? We're at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Police Memorial Building, okay? Alright, so before I start asking questions of you, we're having a conversation, because this is an active investigation. I'm going to go further with that and explain all that to you in a second, okay? I need to read you your rights, okay?
Alright.
Standard procedure, I do it with everybody that I bring in here and ask questions of, okay?
Alright,
Protects you and me, alright?
Alright.
Are you under the influence of any drugs,
No,
alcohol?
not at all.
Is there anything or any reason that would inhibit your ability to have a reasonable conversation with me right now?
No, just the fact that I'm not aware of anything.
Well, I know, and that's what I'm going to get into all that, okay?
Alright.
Like I said, we're at the Police Memorial Building, okay? Today's day 7/23.
Yeah, for 30 more minutes. You got a drink, you need a snack or restroom? Or
no, my lips were parched from sitting in the back of the vehicle.
And I know, I'm sorry you had to sit back there so long. There's a lot going on right now, and that's just, I'm going to break it all down and get into all that, okay? Again, these are your constitutional rights, so alright, do this with everybody. You read and write, okay?
Yes, I do.
Alright, I'll read it to you. You have the following rights under the United States Constitution. You do not have to make a statement or say anything. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you make a statement or before any questions are asked of you, and to have the lawyer with you during any questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. If you do answer questions, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time and consult with a lawyer. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
Is there any part of that you don't understand?
No.
Okay. What I'm going to ask you to do then is just sign. It's not an admission of anything. It's just saying that you and I covered your constitutional rights together, okay? And then I'm going to witness it as I'm signing this on the witness line as well, okay?
You said what do you do? You said you're...
I work in management. I work for Amazon at a fulfillment center up north.
Okay.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been at their facility since December. Before that, I ran a company. So I left Jacksonville back in December, January, and relocated.
Okay. So you left Jacksonville back in December, January, and moved up to Connecticut?
Yeah, so...
And you work for Amazon up there?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a job at Amazon here? We got Amazon here.
I mean, I kind of like the culture. I like how everything is.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you like to kind of slide and go somewhere else. And then me and the family, we were thinking about relocating, but she teaches and stuff like that. So I was kind of trying to see if she wants to move up there. And then, the kids are down here.
Right.
So
How do you like the cold?
I enjoy it. I love
Really?
it, man.
Really?
It's building snowmen and things
Okay.
like that.
You moved there at like prime winter time, so. Are you from Jacksonville?
Yes.
So you're originally born and raised here?
Yes.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to South Carolina State University.
Oh, well, where'd you go to like school around here?
And then Southern New Hampshire. I went to University Christian, and then I went to John Ribault.
So UC?
Yeah.
Did you graduate from UC or
No, I graduated from John Ribault.
Okay, from Ribault. You said you went to college. Did you finish college?
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you get your degree in?
General Studies and Leadership Essentials.
Oh, okay. Are you using that with Amazon?
Absolutely.
Okay. Paying pretty well?
I think sometimes we take a job for the opportunity because we're on
It's a big
track.
company. Room for,
Yeah.
the potential's there. It's Amazon, so it's a huge company, obviously.
Yeah, me and my director, we're pretty close, so things should be all right.
All right. You mentioned family a second ago. So who is family to you? Like, who is your family?
My family is, Tasheka,
Okay.
my kids, my mom and dad. That's really my family.
Who are you living with on Kinlock Drive?
That's actually my grandmother's residence.
Okay. So you stay with your grandmother on Kinlock?
No,
Most of the time?
I don't even stay in Jacksonville.
Okay, but when
I'm
you're
just here right now.
okay, so who do you stay with when you're here? Are you and Tasheka still together?
Most of the time I stay in Middleburg. Lately I've been in Middleburg with
And
my
that's
mom.
your parents? Okay.
That's my mom's house.
So mom's in Middleburg, grandma's on Kinlock.
That's the address that I have on file and everything.
Okay.
But I've been in Middleburg for the past week and a half.
Okay. And did you just come back in town recently? How long you been back in town from Connecticut?
I think I came back here about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you showed up to. Have you been staying with Tasheka or visiting her in the 2 weeks? Like, how's y'all's relationship?
Well, she and I, we have a good relationship. Me and my parents, we have a good relationship. Okay. So I think that everybody meshes well for the most part.
So for instance, where did you sleep last night?
Last night I stayed in Middleburg.
Okay, so you stayed in Middleburg. Is that normally where you sleep when you're in town?
Yes.
Do you ever sleep at Tasheka's?
The last time I spent the night over there was probably last Friday.
Okay.
Either last Friday or Saturday.
Had you been over to her apartment since last Friday or Saturday?
No.
Okay. So the last time you were at Tasheka's place was last Friday or Saturday. You spent the night?
I spent the night. My mom picked me up that afternoon. I had to take like a 12-hour course for a reinstatement with my license.
I gotcha.
So she picked me up that Saturday, and I've been in Middleburg ever since.
Okay. So what, in your own words, I guess, what is Tasheka to you? Because you said family, so what do you consider Tasheka?
She and I, like a future wife.
A future wife?
Yeah. She and I, we had kind of separated a little bit, but every time we separate, we get right back together.
Okay.
Armstrong and Young had a volatile relationship spanning several years. They had a son and a daughter, ages 3 and 1.
So where are y'all at right this second?
Fixing it. We're fixing it. Yesterday she said that, is this about her?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. This is about Tasheka.
Yesterday she said that, she was like she wanted to fix the family, make the family work.
Was this in person or y'all talking on the phone?
We were texting.
Okay. About what time was that?
It was late.
Late? Okay.
Maybe like 10:30, 11.
Last night?
Yeah.
How long did y'all go back and forth? I mean, I know exactly you don't know all the exact number, but just approximately, like what? A couple hours, couple minutes?
We probably went back and forth, maybe. I mean, we text each other throughout the day.
Okay.
And then I text her this morning, and I text her this afternoon, and then she didn't respond to my text this afternoon, and I called her mother to see, if she was around her, because sometimes, when she gets mad, she won't answer my calls or texts. Okay. So I just kind of send something to her mom and say, can you tell her, just talk to me. And then I showed up, and then you guys put me in handcuffs.
Okay. You said sometimes she won't respond to you when she's mad. What does she get mad at you about? Why would she get mad at you?
sometimes she thinks that I can be insensitive. Sometimes we don't meet eye to eye.
Okay.
But you know, I'm a guy, man. It's some things I just don't care about. As long as she's happy at the end of the day, as long as we can kind of diffuse the situation, that's normally how it is.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids, 2 from her.
Okay.
And then we have a newborn on the way. Okay. And I have my oldest son. He's a 5-year-old.
5-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay, that's from a previous relationship?
Yeah, my college sweetheart. She and I were in a relationship for 7 years. We were engaged. We broke up. And they live in the Charlotte area. And
Charlotte?
Yes. And she and I, we've been in a relationship for 5 or 6 years. We had an engagement. We broke it off. And then, you know, whenever I'm home, I try to see if she wants to move up north with me. So.
Okay. So do you still see your first child's mother in Charlotte?
No.
You don't?
It's strictly about my kid.
Do you get to see your 5-year-old?
Yeah, they just took him back to Charlotte today. My sister drove up there.
So how does that work?
I have a very active relationship with all of my children.
How does that work? Like, do you have to go up and get your 5-year-old, or does
my family is pretty involved with everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what my family does is, you know, they make sure that everybody's hands-on.
Right.
And, you know, it's a family, man. It takes a lot of people to make things work.
So is your mom close with Tasheka and your first child's mother?
I would like to think so.
Okay. So they talk, like Tasheka and your mom?
I actually think my mom likes them more than me.
Oh, well, yeah.
So,
I gotcha. So the last time you physically were at Tasheka's apartment was last Friday or Saturday, or that's just the last time you stayed the night there?
No, that's the last time I was there.
Okay.
When I left there, I never stayed the night again. I never returned to her apartment.
I got you.
Yeah, I was actually going to try and see if she could come and hang out with me, but she wasn't answering my calls or anything. So.
And how old are the 2 kids that you have with Tasheka?
BJ is 3 and Bailey's 1.
Is BJ a Bursey Jr.?
3rd.
Bursey the 3rd, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Bailey's 1. Okay. And then you said you had another one, a 3rd child on the way with Tasheka.
Yeah, but we don't know what it's gonna be though.
Do you know how far along she was in the pregnancy?
She had an appointment, and I think that she was 8 or 9 weeks.
8 or 9 weeks old?
Yeah, I was supposed to be making one of the next appointments with her in the future, but a lot of times when I come in town, I try to hurry up and get in and out because I have to make sure that I get back to work. Had something going on with my attendance and FMLA paperwork, so I had to get some things situated with my doctor.
Okay. So when you do go to the apartment, how do you normally get over there? You drive yourself, or?
No, I haven't been driving.
Oh, you haven't been driving?
No.
Okay, so you don't
because
drive.
I have a 12-hour course that I have to take for my license to be reinstated.
I got you. So how do you normally get around then?
Normally when I'm in Jacksonville, I mean, my whole life is up north, so when I come in town, I really don't have to get around too much.
But if you do, like, how'd you get there today when you showed up there today?
Oh, I had a ride from my stepdad.
Oh, your stepdad. Now, where's your stepdad live? Talking about Middleburg?
He stays in Middleburg.
Okay, with your mom?
Yes.
Okay. And did he stay or just drop you off and go?
I think he just dropped me off and left. I was just going to get a ride from Tasheka to head back that way.
Okay. So Tasheka will drive you back and forth sometimes too?
I mean, in a situation like that, I probably would have stayed tonight just to kind of patch things up. Maybe she just would have took me back to Middleburg.
You said you got a ride with your stepdad today?
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Dale.
Dale?
Yes.
What's his last name?
Al-Halim.
How do you spell that?
It's like AL-HALEEM.
EEM?
Yes.
Okay.
So being that Tasheka's about 8-9 weeks pregnant with your 3rd child, like, how are y'all doing right now? Like, I mean, y'all getting along right this second, or were things rough, or?
Last night we had a few words, but whenever we get into an argument or something like that, I always try and soothe it over.
Okay.
You know, she's always a little more serious with that stuff than me. So.
What is she upset about?
She told me the fact that we aren't married. That's what it was about. It was about marriage and commitment.
She wanted you to marry her? Did she feel like you were still committed to your other?
No, not at all. She's not even in the picture.
Oh, okay. So you don't even speak with your first child's mother, or very limited, just about the child, or?
No, we don't speak
Okay.
about it at all.
Okay. So who talks to her to deal with getting your 5-year-old back and forth? Your mom?
Yes.
Okay.
And my sister.
All right. So what made you show up at the apartment tonight when we were all out there?
Well, normally if I call her so many times, or if I text her, she'll get back in touch with me. So I called her mom, and her mom said she'll have her call me. And, I was kind of worried a little bit, so I stopped over there
Okay.
and try and see what was going on with her. Because it's not like her to not answer the phone for me.
So y'all were texting back and forth last night. You had some words. She feels like you're not committed enough, maybe, talking about marriage and stuff like that. And then, at what time today did you start trying to get hold of her?
I think I called her first thing this morning.
Uh-huh.
I think I called her around 8:39. And I think I called her again like at 11. And I think I can show you on my cell phone.
Okay. And I might ask you about that again in a little bit, just trying to figure out, did you try to text her at all, or did she...
Yeah, I texted her as well. She wasn't responding. That was why I called her mom. And I talked to her mom. I was like, if you can get in contact with Tasheka and have her call me or text me or something, I'd appreciate it. Sometimes when she doesn't answer for me, I'll like try and call my sister or call her mom to see if I can get a response from her.
Right.
Do you know around what time last night you'll stop texting or calling?
Maybe around. It was late. Maybe between 10. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's no big deal.
Was it a text? Was that the last communication you had with Tasheka?
Yes.
What was her last message to you?
The last message that she said to me said that, I think she said that she felt like I didn't love her. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
So, when a woman says something like that to you, it kind of, it'll kind of make you feel away. So then I called her this morning. I wanted to try and patch it up and just kind of,
Right.
Yeah.
Would you describe y'all's relationship? How long have y'all been together? I know you have a...
5 years.
5 years.
She and I are actually planning to get married.
Okay. And did you ever live with her at that apartment at one point?
No.
Okay, so you've always lived separate, like with your...
I think she moved into that apartment in January. No. She moved in there in February. By the time she moved in there, I had already relocated.
Okay.
You popped the question yet?
When we broke off the engagement, we didn't make it public that we kind of got
Oh, so
out
y'all were engaged before?
Yeah,
okay.
but publicly we're still kind of engaged.
Yeah. How long were y'all engaged for?
I'm still engaged.
You're still engaged?
I'm still engaged.
But you don't have like a date, like a wedding date or anything like that?
No.
So.
It's like one of those situations where you know a person and you've been with the person so long to the point where you really don't have to question it. It's like we have our kids together, we have our lives together. Let's just move forward.
So what was her hang up then about the commitment and everything? If y'all were engaged and
there was no hang up on her end. The hang up is on my end because she and we had something going on where she kind of wanted to stay in Jacksonville a little bit. And me, I was making my living up north.
Right.
So I was paying her bills and I'm paying my bills. And I'm just like, we can cut the overhead costs if you just come up here.
Yeah.
So that's what we were working towards.
So she didn't want to move up north?
She said that the only way she would move up north is if we went and got the marriage certificate and everything. If we went on ahead and went through with it, then she said she'd come.
Yeah. Why didn't you do that then?
I'm planning on it.
Planning on it? Okay.
Yeah.
Would she have left her family, you think, that she had down here? I mean, did she have...
I think that the family that we started was probably more important.
Yeah.
Young had close ties with her family and often relied on them for childcare. She was also very happy with her career path, so it is unlikely that she would have wanted to move.
But so she was willing to come up north with you, but she wanted you to marry her first.
Yeah. So it was pretty much a done deal.
I got
like
you.
a solid commitment.
Okay. So did her mom ever call you back after you told her, like, hey, I can't get hold of her?
No, I spoke to her, and she was like, all right. So I'm thinking that she probably called her, and she was just like, I just don't feel like talking to Bursey today, or something like that.
All right. Is there, do you know of anybody else Tasheka talks to? And then was there any of that in y'all's relationship? Any infidelity, whatever you want to call it? Was she back and forth with anybody?
If she was, I wouldn't know because we don't stay together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I stay up north, she stays in Jacksonville. Whenever I'm in town, I either get a hotel room.
Right.
I think the most that I ever stayed at her apartment was this last visit last week, and I left with my mom. So
did you stay there just the one night, Friday or Saturday, or do you?
No, I stayed there for like 3 days.
3 days. Was that kind of normal? Sometimes you'd stay there for a couple of days and then.
I think maximum I would probably stay 2 days at a time.
Okay.
Most of the time, whenever I come to town, I get my own living arrangements.
Okay. You mentioned the fact that the time that y'all communicate last and all that would be on your phone. Would you be okay with us looking at that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because I think we have your phone somewhere. One of the officers does or something. In order to do that, though, would you be willing to sign a consent to let us look at your phone? Okay. All right. What kind of phone do you have?
It's an iPhone.
When's the last time you do you FaceTime your kids, or do you ever come and pick them up, or what?
She sends me pictures and things like that, but whenever I'm in town, a lot of times we're around each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
They ever stay like at your mom's or your grandma's or anything like that with you?
Yeah, they come out sometimes.
They come out. Yeah. I gotcha.
But I would have like hotel rooms and stuff like that. So sometimes she would just come to my hotel room. But I'm never in Jacksonville.
Yeah. That's gotta be hard.
I mean, I think as a dad and as a spouse, we make the sacrifice, man.
Yeah.
You get used to just doing what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What number iPhone do you have? What model?
I think it's a 12 plus.
12 plus.
Yeah.
Do you have a password on there?
There are numbers.
Numbers.
000418.
000418.
Yes.
What's your 3-year-old into? Is he like dinos or?
No, my 3-year-old is BJ. BJ is a boy, and my 1-year-old is a girl, Bailey. Okay. But BJ likes monster trucks and stuff like that, and little robots. Sometimes I try and put stuff in front of him, so he can kind of figure it out as it goes.
Yeah. You ever try and take it to Monster Jam here at the downtown?
No, but Tasheka took them with her friend Corey.
Okay. So, to Monster Jam?
Yeah, and I just paid for it.
Yeah. Did he like that?
Yeah, he did.
I bet. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Armstrong, what I'm going to do here is this a consent and search form, okay? In order for me to look at your phone, I have to get your permission, okay? This is basically you giving me written permission to look at your phone, okay? To try to establish your last communication and just verify everything that you're saying, okay? Like I said, this is...
You just want to see the text between she and I?
Yeah, I want to see anything that pertains to anything that can help us figure out what happened to Tasheka.
I mean, she and I, we send each other photos in my phone.
I mean, that doesn't... I mean, if there's anything like that in there, if y'all are consensually sending photos back and forth, first of all, that's between y'all, okay, not against the law, and I don't have any interest in that, okay? I'm more interested in the communication and the time.
That's fine.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, what I'm going to do then is it says that you're giving permission to me in the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to do that, okay? And then I'm going to ask you to initial these 2 lines right here. Feel free to read this form. I will read it to you, okay?
Yeah, I feel a little uncomfortable about it.
Okay.
Because we send each other. I may have to defer on that.
Okay. Do you know what the status of Tasheka is right now?
As far as what?
It's just, do you know why we're sitting here having this conversation? Why you're here?
No.
Okay.
I asked you guys that a million times.
Yeah. The officers on scene?
Well, I asked them and they said that they had to speak to the detectives.
Right. Well, this is, like I said, it's an active investigation, okay? And you're down here at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, obviously, okay?
Alright.
Tasheka's passed away, okay? And I'm very sorry to have to inform you of that. But that's why all this is happening, okay? And that's why I'm asking you for your help.
What happened to her?
Well, that's a good question, and that's why I'm here talking to you. I'm hoping that you can help me figure that out. That's why I asked you the question earlier. Do you know who else you might be talking Mr. Armstrong, let me ask you this. When you got there earlier and you saw all the police, give me a minute. I'll give you a minute. Alright. I'm gonna give you a minute. I need your help though, okay?
God! Oh, God. Oh, my God. Who did it? Who did it?
Well, that's why I'm sitting here talking to you, trying to get your help. Let me ask you this though: when you showed up to the departments earlier and you saw police cars and crime scene tape and crime scene units and detectives, what was going? I mean, what was going through your mind? What did you think was going on?
I didn't know. Shit, I was showing up just trying to see my kids, see her real quick. Shit, I don't know.
Do you know where your kids
I
are?
didn't even know why y'all put me in. I didn't know what was going on.
Do you know where your kids are?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I called her at the scene to see what was going on, but she didn't answer the phone. She didn't answer the phone. That's why I showed up.
Right. Oh, so that's what I'm asking you. Like, you obviously knew that you couldn't get hold of her all day today. You said you called her several times and she wasn't replying to you. Okay. And you show up at the apartment and see everything that was going on there with us. So, I mean, did you not? I mean, what was your gut telling you? Something bad?
I just didn't know. I
didn't
don't know. I saw people looking around and stuff like that. I saw a girl. I saw a girl. I saw a girl out there, and I know she recognizes me from her building, but I didn't know why everybody was standing outside.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's... And again, I'm sorry, okay?
Oh, what the heck, man?
Well...
Oh, what the heck?
But I'm asking you for your help. Alright.
I love her.
That's why we're trying to come up with a timeline of when people last spoke to her. Is why we were asking about your phone.
Where's my phone? Just bring it. Just bring it. Where is it?
We'll have to track down the officer to get it.
But I can't do anything with your phone without you giving me consent, okay?
Oh my God.
So that's up to you. I'm not trying to force that on you, okay? Obviously you just got hit with a lot of information, okay, and terrible news, and I want to respect that, but at the same time, we've got to try to figure out what happened to Tasheka now, okay? For her family, her kids, you as her, I understand. So I was just about to say, you, her children's father, okay? And that's why, you remember that question I asked you earlier? Did you know of anyone else that she may have been talking to or anything else going on?
I know she had friends and stuff, but...
Right. Do you know that she had people over at the apartment? Did she go out? You know, I mean, she's got 2 kids there, so I assume she can't
has
really...
a lot of friends.
Okay. But with 2 little kids, she probably can't leave home much, I would assume.
A lot of times her parents keep the kids.
Her parents keep the kids?
But sometimes, but I know that she always has them. A lot of times I check in and she'll send me a picture letting me know that, everything's alright.
Does she have anywhere she likes to go, people she likes to hang with, things she likes to do?
What she likes to do?
What's up?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Explain this shit to my kid. Are my kids alright? Where are my kids?
Your kids are fine. They're with Tasheka's mom. They're okay.
Do you know who all had access to her
Explain
apartment?
this shit to her mom. I don't know.
I know you said
I don't go. I'm sorry. I don't go.
Okay. We're just if her mom had a key, or if a good friend of hers had a key or anything like that.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
I don't know. I should have been there with her.
And she never mentioned.
What happened?
Well, we don't know. That's this. I mean, when you got there, I had just pulled up not long before
Y'all
you
had
got
that
there.
tape. There's something that happened at that apartment.
Armstrong acts shocked and devastated by the news, but the detectives have some issues with his performance. He saw that the apartment was a crime scene, yet never appeared to think that Young or one of the children could have been killed. Most people would have been more adamant about getting answers. I just released another extremely intense interrogation on my Patreon, this time about a son of a millionaire being interrogated for the death of his father. His trial was the longest and most expensive trial in the history of St. John. Watch it right now at patreon.com/Stranger Stories Plus.
It's something that happened there. I saw her truck there.
Yeah.
And I saw tape there.
Listen, this is an active homicide investigation. That's why you're here, okay?
I want to
know what happened. We want to know what happened, okay? I want to help you figure out what happened, but in order to do that, you have to help me. Like, we got to work together right now. I had just gotten there not long before you showed up, okay?
I understand.
And to do that, I definitely need 100% honesty out of you, okay?
I'm telling you what I know.
I understand. And I want you to be sure. I'd rather you tell me you're not sure, you don't remember, than lock yourself into something that turns out not to be true later, okay? So you said earlier, we've established a couple times now, the last time you were at that apartment was a week ago, approximately, last Friday or Saturday.
Like Friday.
And you stayed there for 2 or 3 nights, a couple nights, right? A few nights, you said?
I might have stayed there from that Wednesday to Friday.
Okay.
And I left there.
Okay, and you have not been there since?
No.
Okay. And you do not know of anyone else that comes and goes from that apartment other than you and maybe her mom?
I'm not sure.
Okay. But she doesn't speak to you of anyone that she has over, friends, company?
I mean, that's not really my business coming from her.
Does she go out and party? Does she like to have people over? I mean,
I know she's had people over.
Okay.
She's not really a partier. We cut that out a while ago.
You've been together 5 years. Has there ever been any issues where you caught her talking to some other dudes or anything like that?
We had times, we had incidents, and vice versa on my end.
Okay.
But we always stick it out. We are kind of fully committed. I know that I wasn't dating anyone else outside of her.
When you were over there, how was it? I mean,
The last time
Mm-hmm.
we had like an argument.
Okay.
Like we had a small argument, and then my mom picked me up, and then I haven't been over there since.
Would you say maybe that's why you don't go over there so much? It's just arguing?
No. I kind of just prefer my space, man.
Okay.
Especially when I'm in town. And then I don't really care for I don't really care for that complex like that. I've seen a few different things over there that turned me off about it. And I told her that I didn't want her staying out there either.
So the last time you were there and you stayed there for those few nights, just you, her, and your 2 kids?
Yes.
Okay. You have a pretty good relationship, obviously, with, I mean, your kids. You see them, like, or is the only time you see them?
We don't
I
have,
know they're young.
She and I, we don't have real problems.
Do y'all FaceTime? Like, does she FaceTime you so you can see and talk to the kids when you're not there? I mean,
yeah, anything. Like, we're together. It's like,
right.
It's nothing she's not gonna say to, you know what I mean? Like.
And she didn't reveal anything to you last week or in your conversation since that she was having issues with anyone or anything like that? She didn't convey any kind of worry or fear about anything going on in her life outside of you?
I mean, there are some things that we don't discuss. There are some things that we don't talk about. Some stuff that we don't talk about.
Such as?
I mean, sometimes she doesn't tell me her whereabouts, but I think us as adults, we have a right to our privacy sometimes, but for the most part, she would, I mean, we're like any other couple.
When she questioned your commitment, was she worried that you were seeing other females?
I think she stopped worrying about that.
Okay.
Young believed Armstrong was seeing other women, and she was correct. Armstrong was in a relationship with at least one other woman.
She just couldn't understand why you just wouldn't get married.
But you know what? Last night, she said something about me following extra people on my Instagram. Mentioned something about more females being followed. Like, it would be petty stuff.
So last night she was concerned about women on your Instagram and how many females you were following or something?
Yeah, no messages, no direct female stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when a woman does that, you have to reiterate that.
Like, why you following her? Why you following her?
Yeah, stuff like that.
You only had this many followers, now you got this many.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. They watch that stuff, don't they? Like a hawk.
They really do. Especially when we talk about relocating them and stuff like that and making the family work.
You got an extra up because you're out of town, so she's probably really worried about what you're up to.
I mean, I worry about what she's up to as well, but
yeah.
You have to find your peace somewhere. You can't worry about everything. If you worry about everything, you drive yourself crazy. If I stay 1,000 miles away, that's...
What part of Connecticut are you staying in?
New Haven.
New Haven? That's where the Amazon facility... Do you work at the actual Amazon facility up there?
Yes.
Okay. How long are you gone? Like, you go back and forth? Like, how often? Like,
I travel every month. But right now, my job, they're waiting for FMLA documents.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just waiting on my doctor to get those forms back to me because they needed to justify my absences.
Yeah.
So that's really why I was in town.
I got you. When y'all have arguments, like say you're there in person, staying there with the kids, y'all ever argue and fight in front of the kids at all? I mean, like obviously Bailey, right? Your youngest is really young, but like your son, he's 3, correct?
Yeah.
So at that age, they kind of start to pick stuff up a little bit. I mean, has he ever witnessed y'all fight or argue or anything like that?
He has.
Okay. Like arguing, like yelling, screaming, stuff breaking, anything like that. Like to what degree?
Nothing too serious.
Okay.
A couple of things thrown. She had a temper.
Okay.
I'm
Do y'all
pretty
throw things at each
passive-aggressive.
other, or just like stuff gets broken during arguments?
No.
Okay.
She throws stuff.
She throws stuff?
I'm more passive aggressive.
Okay.
I don't have time for that.
Anything physical?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Y'all never put hands on each other?
No, I've had to remove or grab her, but
Okay.
I've never like punched her or hit her or anything.
What's the worst thing she's ever thrown at you?
Yeah, a knife.
A knife?
Yeah.
Police ever get called on any of that stuff? Like when you were over there arguing or whatever, police ever show up, knock at the door or anything like that?
A lot of time. One time when I stayed on Harrison, a house we lived in that I bought, she pulled a knife on me. I think that I reported that.
Okay. How long ago was that?
That was like last year. And then there was another incident recently, but I didn't report it. I didn't really. I get to the point where I'm used to how she is, so I just go with it.
I mean, do y'all get to the point where you're yelling back and forth at each other? Or is it mainly her yelling at you, you yelling at her? Like, how does that, y'all both shout at each other and fuss at each other, or what?
We would go back and forth. We would argue and stuff like that. But a lot of times, man, I just walk away from it most of the time. Sometimes it get out of hand and she starts throwing stuff, but even with that, the aftermath is like we would be all right. You know, one thing about it, once you get used to how a person is, it's kind of easier to deal with them. And that's kind of how we were.
How does your son react, your 3-year-old, when y'all are fighting and arguing?
My son didn't really witness any heavy arguing. I mean, it was just like a regular family, man. Families argue for us sometimes, and we make up and we keep it moving.
Okay.
Nothing serious. Nothing. It's like nothing that would make anybody like really angry. You know what I mean? Like,
Young's family told the police that the couple's fights were more vicious than what might be considered normal.
just regular stuff.
So, you said the police got involved when you stayed on Harrison a year ago, approximately?
Maybe over a year ago.
But since she's been in this apartment, you said about February, right, this year? She moved in that apartment. The police have never had to come there while you were there?
No.
She hasn't called the police on you that you're aware of?
No.
And you haven't called the police on her?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had to reach out to her mom or any other family members and be like, look, you need to talk to Tasheka, she's kind of out of control? Or...
I think her mom knows about some things, but I wasn't like a talented, like I'm not gonna call your mom every time something goes on.
What's your relationship with her mom? Do y'all really have a relationship? I mean, do you go around her?
Me and her mom, we're pretty cordial. We don't have a bad relationship.
Y'all do like family dinners and stuff when you're in town, or
no? Only on holidays.
Only holidays, okay.
Sometimes, like since I moved away, sometimes when I come in town, her mom stop by, or we go over to her parents' house. Her dad's really sick, so we would stop over there and see Mr. Young. Just little stuff like that. You know, so this is what happens when you headed towards marriage, when you're trying to lock everything in. You make sure that it's like one family.
I got you. Okay, and you have not been over there since last week?
No.
Okay. Is there any reason why maybe your son would have said that you've been there since last week?
Maybe FaceTime.
Okay. How often do y'all FaceTime?
Probably once every couple of days or something.
Okay. When's the last time you FaceTime with Tasheka?
It could have been yesterday.
Yesterday?
Could have been yesterday. I know we might have FaceTime. Possibly. I'm not sure, but somewhere along the lines.
It's usually every couple of days?
Yeah.
Does she have any other phones that you know of, or does she just have one phone?
I don't know. I mean, once I relocated, I just kept everything about the family, because when it comes down to it, the only thing I can worry about is what we're trying to do. I can't worry about who she talks to when I'm gone. I just know she'll mention some of her friends, but I just have to trust her discretion. You know, I try not to poke too much.
Do you know what her phone looks like? Like if it's got a case, or if it's what kind of phone it is?
She had an iPhone just like mine.
She had an iPhone like yours? Yeah. You know what kind of case? Did she have a case on it, or no case?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay. Do you know what color it was by chance?
No, I just know it's an iPhone because we FaceTime.
No, yeah, I got you. You know her password?
I remember one time it was like a set of numbers, but I don't try to go through her stuff though.
I got you, Mr. Armstrong. I'm gonna ask you a question, and then I'm gonna make a statement. Okay? So I'm gonna ask the question. Don't respond immediately. Think on it for a second, okay? Because I'm gonna follow it up with a statement. All right. Is there any reason why your 3-year-old son, Bursey III, would say that Daddy hurt Mommy? And then remember what I said. Let me make the statement. Don't follow it up. Think about it for a second, okay? Because these incidents, it's usually one or two things, okay? Good people lose control momentarily, do some things, say some things they regret or wish they hadn't done. A, or B, there's an evil that exists within you and you're okay doing that, and you go into self-preservation mode and start lying about what happened and always think about yourself, trying to protect yourself, okay? And since I've been talking to you, hold on, like I said, I'm going to give you a chance to answer that question in a minute. Just let me finish up. And since I've been talking to you, you seem like an educated person. I mean, you are an educated person. You've got a college degree. All right, we've had some normal conversation. You seem like a good dude. Okay. But from what I'm gathering, based on what I know about that apartment, and my conversation with you, and the conversation that's been had with your son, it seems like something really bad happened between you and Tasheka last night, okay? And maybe there was like a moment where things got really heated, really intense, and something happened, okay? And that's what I'm interested in. If you don't know, that's fine. I'm not obviously asking you to say something that you don't know about or say that you did something if you didn't. But what I'm asking you is, think about this woman, her family, and those 2 kids.
Yeah, I haven't been over there since last week.
Okay.
But I know that when it comes to interaction,
Okay.
she says that she doesn't bring any other men around my kid.
Okay.
So
you haven't been there. So if something bad happened to her last night, there's no way it could have been you.
Absolutely not.
Which leads me back to my original question. Why would your 3-year-old son maybe indicate that you had something to do with hurting her?
Most of the time, I'm the only man that's around her.
Right, and that's why I asked you earlier.
She's not supposed to have other men around my kid, but I'm not sure if that's the case.
Okay.
It could have been somebody in there, but I don't know.
But if there is,
if he's used to seeing me,
right? If there is, though, there's no way. I mean, come on, we know that as men and having children, like, there's no way your son at 3 years old is gonna be calling another man daddy, right?
I don't think so.
I mean,
but I know that
if it was to the point where your 3-year-old son was calling another man daddy, that would probably mean that man was around a lot, and you would probably know about it at that point. I would think, right? I mean,
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I don't stay there.
Okay.
And I don't know how she would. I don't think that she would introduce a man by his name,
right,
or something like that. I don't know.
So I mean, but you understand that's a concern, to say the least.
I know that. I wasn't there.
And you said that your son earlier just never witnessed any physical violence because you said there hasn't been physical violence between y'all in the past.
As of late, no.
As of late, okay, yeah, fair enough. Because you mentioned the knife incident last year. Was your son there for that? Would he even remember that? You think? I mean, did he witness that?
I think that he did witness it.
Okay.
I think he witnessed me get loud and things like that. I'm just as guilty as she is when it comes to arguments and stuff.
Fair enough. Do you have a gun?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you care? You don't ever carry a gun on you?
No, I had a gun before, but I don't have it anymore.
Okay. All right.
Have you been around guns recently, within the last couple days?
Yeah, I have. I was around a Taurus. I was around a Taurus 40, like a 40 caliber.
When was that?
Like a few days ago.
Did you shoot it?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Whose gun was it?
It was just a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. So you don't own any guns or have any guns?
No, I don't have any.
All right. And then obviously, there's a lot of stuff I still have to do, okay? But and there's nobody or no other reason that you can think of for Tasheka or for someone else to hurt Tasheka. She hasn't mentioned a single thing to you about.
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
You don't think she'd express to you if she was in any kind of trouble or fear or danger?
If she had something going on with someone else, she would probably try and keep it away from me.
And last night when y'all were talking, she didn't express anything like that to you?
No. And I hadn't seen her since last week.
Okay. You hadn't seen her physically since last week, but y'all talked, obviously.
Yes.
How did you normally communicate? Through normal text, messenger, apps?
Text.
Just phone text, regular?
Text, FaceTime, phone calls.
I got you.
Sometimes Facebook, like, we're a couple, do what couples do. But I do feel like she was seeing someone else, but I'm not sure. It's not like I've been like.
That wouldn't bother you?
I can't control everything. I know that
but
she's grown and so am I.
But if the woman's asking you to commit to her and marry her, and you're talking about moving up north, I mean.
One time, I found that she was kind of texting guy back and forth, but I didn't really look too hard into it. I mean, I've had infidelity in my relationship with her, and she's accepted me back plenty of times, so, who am I to turn it, you know what I mean?
When was the last time you were in town before this little stint of being in town?
Had to have been like a month before that.
About a month ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, if I've been here this week, 'cause I've been at my mom's since last week to this week, so that's like a week. I had gotten in town like that Sunday, so it's like 2 weeks. So before that, it had been a month since I'd been here.
Okay. Do you know how far along she is in her current pregnancy?
You guys asked me that already. It's like between 8 and 9 weeks.
8 and 9 weeks. Is there any concern that someone else might have been involved with her?
I thought about it.
But she never expressed that to you.
No, she didn't.
She was acting like 100% it's your baby.
As far as I know, it's mine. But
and she was acting like 100% like it was your baby too, or did y'all have that conversation? I mean, did you flat out ask?
I really didn't ask.
You didn't ask? That wasn't concerning to you at all? If you think maybe she's seeing someone else, maybe she's not.
I try not to make her look like you know what I mean? Yeah. I try to give her respect.
But you said you were paying her bills earlier. I mean, do you want to be paying bills for a woman if she's seeing and having babies now with someone else possibly?
I mean, I'm responsible for my children.
Right.
I already have 2 with her, so I just hold up my end of the deal as far as things go. I know she had a firearm, but I don't know what she did with it.
What kind of gun did she have?
I think it was like a 22, like a little 22 with a long nose or something like that.
Like a rifle or a pistol?
It was a pistol.
Like a revolver or like semi-auto?
It was like semi-auto.
Semi-auto.
Yeah, something that a woman would have.
I gotcha. Have you ever had guns at all?
Yes. Yes.
When's because you said you don't currently have any, right?
No.
What's the last gun that you had?
The last gun that I had a 40, and I also had a Glock.
The weapon used to kill Young was a 9mm Glock.
I had a 40 and I had a Glock. Those are the only 2 guns I've ever had.
What happened to those?
I know somebody, from what she said, somebody stole the Glock out of her apartment. So I reported that stolen. I reported that to JSO back in January.
Like someone broke into her apartment, or?
Yeah, it was taken out of her apartment.
Okay.
This was back when I really wasn't over there like that.
Okay. And this is the same apartment she's living in now? It got stolen from there?
Yes.
Okay. But you reported it?
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't get another gun since then?
No.
What about the 40?
The 40, that was like a friend of mine's, so it was like more along the lines of something for protection. But I never, I don't have to use it.
Yeah. Well, where's that at now?
It's back in their possession.
Oh, in your buddies?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
The only problem I have right now with Mr. Armstrong is that I have a child, your child, that says that you hurt his mommy.
Both children were present when Young was killed. Her daughter was found holding her hand, while the 3-year-old boy was in another room, clearly shaken. He repeatedly told people that his father was the one to hurt his mother.
And at 3 years old, find that incredibly difficult to believe that he would make that up or just say that.
The thing about my son is, when it comes to men, I'm his dad, but I do not know who he has around him. I don't know who she brings around him when I'm not around. When he says that daddy hurt mommy, that could have been something a while back. I know that I haven't been in that apartment complex since last week. And I think that, I think that everybody kind of knew that.
Okay. Well, again, coming back to this, are you any more comfortable helping us try to figure out the timeline with the consent to search for your cell phone or not?
That's fine. You just want to figure what, just between today and what, this last week?
Any evidence pertaining to you and Tasheka in this investigation?
That's fine. Would that help me go home?
Messages, phone call history, location history, all that stuff. I'm going to look at all that, okay? With your consent. But in order to do that, you have to sign this form and giving me consent.
All right, and after that, can I go home?
Well, yeah. It won't be like as soon as you sign the form, but
I need more.
I understand. I need you to initial these 2 lines, all right? That says I have the right to refuse consent search from my property, and that obviously any information that we glean from this search could be used against you, okay? Just like I read your rights earlier. So I'm asking you to initial those 2.
All right, it's just the text messages, right?
No, I'd like to look at location, text, phone calls.
All right.
I mean, you said you haven't been there in a week. Your cell phone might be able to help verify that.
All right.
So I'm asking you to initial those 2. And then sign right there. And that passcode that you gave, 000418, that's the code to the phone that you had on you tonight, right?
Yeah.
The iPhone 12 Plus you said you thought it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said you don't know anyone else that might have access to her apartment or anyone that she's been...
I wouldn't know because she knows my driving situation.
Right.
So she doesn't have to worry about me showing up over there.
Yeah. We're trying to get to the bottom of this, see, who might have had access to her apartment, who might she have been talking to, and this will help us with a timeline to see when you last spoke to her. We talked to her mom. We're trying to figure out, who knows her, who last talked to her, kind of to give us a time frame between when she was found today and when someone last talked to her to kind of narrow that time frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I haven't seen her since last week, but maybe when I'm out, I don't know. I don't know what she does outside of me. I don't ask her questions. I try not to insinuate. Sometimes I do.
Do you know if she's got like if she talks to her mom, does she tell her mom everything, or if she's got a really good friend that we could talk to kind of get more information on someone that's here that might know a little bit more about her day to day?
Like a BFF. Like who would she, if she was talking to a girl?
Her BFF would probably be Corey.
Corey?
Maybe Corey Stafford.
Corey Stafford?
Yeah.
You don't happen to know Corey's number, do you?
No, I don't.
Does she live in the apartment complex? Or
No,
something?
she doesn't.
Okay. And that's a woman, Corey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe her at all? We're just going to try and...
Corey, she's a car salesman.
Car salesman?
Yeah.
What she look like?
Maybe heavy set, brown skin, long hair. She's not a bad person.
But if there was one person that she might be talking to about anybody else she might have been seeing other than you, that might be Corey, that she would reveal that kind of stuff to?
Possibly.
Okay.
Sorry, do you know about how old Corey is?
Corey's like a year older than me, so she's like 34.
34.
And she's here in Jacksonville?
Yes.
Do you know where she stays?
No, I don't. Maybe somewhere on the west side.
You said car salesman. You know where?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay.
How about her mom? Does she, her and her mom pretty tight? Like as far as
Her and mom.
As far as you know.
They have a decent relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you don't really talk too heavily about your direct household and what goes on and stuff.
Yeah.
We just talk about what we have going on. Show them how it is.
We're just trying to find anyone that knows her pretty well that, might have been talking to her or texted her this morning or, you know what I mean? Just trying to figure out, just kind of narrow down when this may have happened, to give us a better clue. So.
You consider yourself to be like a ladies' man a little bit? You said you had some infidelity issues. You got a little...
Maybe flirting.
I mean, you're a working man. You're an educated man.
Yeah, but I don't get around too much.
You don't got more than one phone?
No.
You have a work phone through Amazon or anything like that?
No, I just use my one phone number.
Your one phone?
I do have a different phone number attached to it from like a text app, but that's on my iPhone. Like, how you have like an app with another number
like
on
WhatsApp
it?
or something?
Like WhatsApp, yeah. I have one of those on my phone.
Yeah, but just one phone.
Yeah, just one phone.
And you've had that phone, you said, since December?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you talk to her through that other phone app or?
No.
Okay.
You said y'all pretty much just text, phone call, and FaceTime?
Yeah, I used to use the phone for like business purposes, the other number, but that was about it.
Alright, now, I know you said you don't go to it doesn't sound like you go to the apartment a whole lot, right?
No.
Okay. When you do go there, does she have to let you in, or do you have a key?
I had a key.
You do have a key? Okay. Do you still have a key?
I think I might have given it back to her, but I know I have a copy of it somewhere.
Okay. So you still have a key to the apartment?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever just go over there and go in, or do you normally not? I mean, I assume she knows when you're coming, right?
Yeah, if I would, I would call her and let her know I was on the way and stuff like that.
You never just showed up surprised just to see what's going on?
A couple of times in the past.
Okay.
Yeah. But my mom, after we fell out that last week, I just kind of stayed at my mom's house, man.
Okay. But y'all were still talking?
Yeah, we were still talking, but I was trying to see if I could see her today. It kind of worried me a little bit when she wasn't answering my calls.
Do y'all ever go long periods of not communicating?
No.
Okay, so even if y'all aren't necessarily seeing each other physically, you're still talking?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the longest period? I mean, if she's mad or you're mad, what's the longest y'all would go without talking?
We never really, maybe a day.
A day, okay. Who's normally the one to give in? Come on, you know how it is. There's always someone.
I think that we both do.
You both? Okay.
I think that we both do. I think once she and I started dealing with each other on a certain level, just get to the point where you start getting past that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe when we first started dating, it was a little more difficult, but
I mean, she obviously cared for you. Y'all got kids together. You had another one on the way. I mean, she drove all the way to and from Middleburg sometimes to give you a ride?
No. No. I would just get there.
Like
my
Uber?
mom would just come grab me.
Did you ever like Uber or anything like that over there?
No.
Have you ever done it? That's probably expensive, huh? How much is that ride?
I've never had to do that.
You've never had to Uber?
I've never had to Uber from her place to that.
You would just get like between mom, stepdad, and then her?
I mean, maybe if I lived in Jacksonville,
yeah,
I probably would have to do that. But, whenever I'm in town, I'm only in town for like short periods of time. Yeah. So it's like 2 and 3 days at a time, stuff like that. So
between mom, stepdad, and then her, you didn't have to?
No.
One of them always got you back and forth?
Yeah, for the most part.
And you don't
only when I'm in Jacksonville. The only time I Uber and Lyft is when I'm up north. Because I use it to go to work,
And you don't drive at all? Not even. I mean, I know, say, a lot of people don't have good license. It doesn't stop them from driving, but you're pretty disciplined with that. You don't drive?
No.
I got you.
Where'd you say you were staying the last couple of days?
I've been in Middleburg.
That's your mom's in Middleburg?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just run me through, like, as best you can, your timeline the last 2 days? Starting from, I guess, so today's Saturday, yesterday was Friday. I guess where you went to bed Thursday night and woke up Friday morning?
I've just been there.
Just been there?
Yeah, I haven't really been in town.
Okay. You say haven't really been in town. Like, have you literally been in Middleburg
Yes,
past several days?
That's where I've been.
Okay. Did you go anywhere out there? I mean, you just literally just stay at your parents' house?
I went to a store there.
But you just stay at your parents' house?
I mean, I had everything that I needed.
You don't have a girl out there?
No, I don't.
Nothing?
I'm pretty, I don't really lack too much self-control, man.
Okay.
I don't have to.
What do you do all day? You play video games or?
No, man.
Work
I stay
or
on my
what?
laptop, catch up, correspond with people, things like that.
I gotcha.
That's all I would do.
Okay. The store you went to, is it like a corner store, like a grocery store?
Yeah.
Okay. Near the house?
Yeah.
I gotcha. So, but in the last 2 days, you've pretty much been at your mom's house or just like in the area?
Yeah, like Walgreens, little places like that.
Places you can walk to?
Yeah. Places they don't mind taking me, or I don't mind hiking or something like that. I might jog or something like that.
What do you do for fun, man? If you're here for long periods with not having to work, I mean, what do you just sit at the house? You don't just sit at your parents' house. Come on.
Man, you can call them and ask them what I do.
House, yeah?
I mean, I might play basketball, but for the most part, I might read a book or something like that. My life's pretty boring, man.
I got you.
I did all of the sleeping around stuff.
Does your mom work?
No, she stays at home. She's retired.
The last couple days she's been at home?
Yeah.
Did you tell us your mom's name? I don't remember.
Her name is Sandella. Sandella. Sandy.
Sandella?
Yes, Sandy.
Okay. What's her last name?
Al-Halim.
Al-Halim.
Yes.
Okay. How do you spell her first name?
Sandella.
Al-Halim.
You understand why we're having this conversation? Does it make sense at least? I mean, you have children together. Who's the first person you're going to start with a lot of times in a situation like this? The person that you would consider to be closest to that person. And if you don't consider yourself to be the closest person to her, then obviously I want your help trying to figure out who would be.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I would like to think, and I do believe, that I'm the closest to her.
Right.
But I see her the least out of everybody.
Right.
She didn't relocate with me when I left, and I only see her for days at a time. She knows that I don't really drive like that, so I don't know what she had going on. Especially being the last time when we saw each other was last week. Last time I saw her was like last Saturday.
And it doesn't concern you that your own son is saying that daddy hurt mommy? I mean, you really think
it does concern me. But I know that my son, he's like, BJ he wouldn't, like, if she had another man around, and he might say it around another man, depending on what she has going on. As a man, it sucks to have to say that, but I have to be I have to be honest with myself. So,
how sure are you that the baby was going to be yours?
I mean, she's my girl, man. Like,
Armstrong has had to make a tough decision with his story. Either say that there was no problem with their relationship and have his son's words used against him, or tell them that he thinks Young may have been cheating, which gives him a possible motive.
We would have gotten to that point. We weren't at that point yet. We were at the point where we were just going through pregnancy. I wasn't concerned about if it was mine or if it wasn't. I know that I stay 1,000 miles away. It could be somebody sleeping over there every night, but I don't know that.
Okay,
that's
what I was gonna say.
She would never tell me that.
She could be talking to or seeing someone else, but you don't know.
She would never tell me that.
And you've never caught her on phone or
no.
Showed up at the apartment unannounced and found another dude there, nothing like that?
No,
okay.
I don't try to overly intrude. I try to trust her. You know, a lot of times in the past I used to talk about cheating and stuff like that, but she would those weren't really the best conversations that we would have. But I know that she did deal with other guys outside of me in the past, but I did the same thing as well.
Right. So you said pay bills earlier. What kind of, like, how much of the bills are you paying? Rent? You just buying some groceries, throwing her a little bit of money here and there? Like, how does that work?
Well, I have the account statement, so
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, was it a set amount every month?
This past month, I think I gave her like maybe like 1,400. The month before that, I think I gave her like a couple of grand.
So that's quite a bit.
The month before that, because it's not just about it's my family. You know what I mean? Like if she had something.
Was that pretty consistent every month, giving her $1,000, $2,000?
For the most part,
or was
yes.
you go long periods of not giving? I mean, is there months where you don't give her anything?
No.
Okay.
No. And I told her, I have all of these things in my checking account and stuff like that. So, but I would overly compensate her. Sometimes she would misappropriate the money, and she would end up having to ask me for more stuff. I know that she asked her mother to pay her rent or something like that, but I had already given her enough money to do it. So
there's nothing through the courts. You don't have any kind of papers or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Y'all just always kind of worked it out amongst yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just take care of everything.
Okay. All right, Mr. Armstrong, do me a favor. All right, just give me a few minutes. Sit tight, okay?
Do you know off the top of your head phone numbers for Dale and Sandy?
No, I don't.
They in your phone?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Oh, do you know what they're saved under? Is it Mom and Dad or Dale and Sandy?
No, it's like Mom and Dale.
Mom and Dale. How about Tasheka? What does she say down?
Well, for this past week, it says crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. All right. Yeah, just give us a minute. If you need anything, if you want a snack, need to use the restroom, just okay.
All right.
Mr. Armstrong, hey.
Hi.
Man, all I can say is I apologize for taking so long. I do appreciate your cooperation. All right, obviously, you understand the gravity of the situation, okay? Like we spoke with your stepfather, and he was able to verify some of the stuff you were saying about him giving you a ride and everything. So, like I said, I appreciate your truth. You being truthful with me. What I gotta just keep picking your brain a little bit though about Tasheka, and just like any little thing you can think of. Like, does she use Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger?
I don't know. Right now, I want to do something to somebody about the situation.
I understand. And that's why why I have you here. I know you do. This is the last place in the world you want to be right now, but I'm trying to take advantage of being able to get as much information from you, being probably the closest person, at least that we know of, to her. Because right now you're my only connection to her. I mean, her own mother probably still doesn't know as much about her daily life about certain things like you do.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I don't know. I didn't have passwords or anything to her phone.
Okay. Did she ever message you on Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. So that wasn't out of the ordinary for her to communicate with Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, and all that stuff?
No, it's not.
What about an app, like a messenger app? Did she use any of those?
No, no text now.
I mean, y'all wouldn't have a reason to do that with each other. Y'all just text each other, right?
I mean, but we would still use social media just to do it because everybody uses social media.
I got you. What about the 994 number you've used before? What is that?
That's an old T-Mobile number.
An old T-Mobile number?
That phone has been cut off since...
Okay.
You know what? I cut that phone off and cut the Verizon phone on. So that was back in December, probably.
Okay. So you haven't used 994 number since last year?
No, 994-6537.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And did you used to have those two numbers concurrently, or you canceled 994?
I canceled one and got another.
The 646?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been to Tasheka's parents' house?
No, but I know I need to go over there.
No, I'm just saying ever. Like, have y'all ever gone over
there?
You've been to like family dinner and stuff like that?
Yeah. Did they bring my phone in?
I think he's done with it, or about to be done with it. That's what we're kind of waiting on now. Because right now, there's like, you cooperating with the phone and letting us do that also can exonerate you. Your location history shows that you're here, not there when something happens. That kind of stuff makes you look good, okay?
Alright.
So that's why I was asking you for your consent to do that, okay?
That's fine.
Because if your phone's way over here in Middleburg or something, and something's happening way, up on the north side, then...
Understood.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I guess. Whatever works.
Well, because normally people, I mean, not very many people are without their cell phones.
Yeah, that's true.
So, what else did I want to hit on? Did she work?
Uh, well, I know she used to Instacart a little bit, and then she was substitute teaching, and then she started doing she became a paraprofessional.
Okay. Do you know what school?
It was Highlands Elementary, and then the school year ended, and then she was working at Boys and Girls Club for like a summer camp.
And she just has the one car? Is it the Volkswagen, whatever it is, the SUV?
T1.
T1.
Yeah.
Did she pay for that?
No, her mother helped her, but I gave her quite a few bucks.
Okay. Well. Now, you said you were sending her quite a bit of money per month.
Like she stayed like 3 miles away from her parents.
Right. Yeah. What was the last thing you knew her to be doing to make money if you weren't giving her money?
I'm not sure.
Like the school's being out right now, so she's not. Was she still Instacarting? Do you know?
She would talk about Instacart. You know, with Instacart, people go to different locations and stuff like that. So she would talk about that, but outside of that, you know, I'm not sure. I wasn't trying to track her down or anything. You know, I wasn't asking her to turn the location on and stuff. But she would give me her location sometimes, though.
Is there anything you can think of that you thought of while you've been sitting here that might help us out?
I think that I know she had some neighbors who stayed in her building, but I don't really know what they were into. They just looked a little shysty to me. But
any distinct features about anybody that hangs around in that building or those apartments you can think of? Weird tattoos?
It's Mission Point. I mean, it's, you know, a lot of different things take place in that complex that I've witnessed, and I mean, I just
right there around her apartment building, like anything, nothing ever stood out to you? Did you ever sit outside?
I saw some guys fighting out there before.
Were you like, I mean, you smoke cigars?
Yeah, I do.
Do you stand outside to do that, like outside the apartment, or?
Yeah, I would smoke cigarettes.
Do you ever witness neighbors coming and going? Like, I mean,
yeah.
Nothing stood out to you about any of the neighbors?
A few of them looked a little different. She had one neighbor that didn't like me. She stayed above her, but I think she had a crush on my girlfriend because she had a girlfriend that lived with her. So I think, you know, it was a dark-skinned girl with dreads and stuff like that.
You never really had much interaction with them?
No, one day she cursed me out. I was on my laptop and she thought that I looked at her girlfriend, so she cussed me out. No, I wasn't looking at her girlfriend.
Who lives in the apartment across from Tasheka's?
I think it's a lady.
Just a lady?
But I know it's like I know she has like 3 or 4 sons. Or maybe that's their friends. I know they smoke.
Is there ever a man that comes and goes from there?
I wouldn't know.
You haven't seen? Okay. Any other dudes that like live right there in her little building that you can think of?
One of the guys had a whole lot of tattoos.
Okay.
A couple tattoos on his face.
On his face? Do you remember what apartment he was in?
I know he stayed on the floor above her.
Above? Is he black or white?
It was a black guy.
So he had was he like thin or?
Yeah, thin, muscular.
Okay.
And there was another guy who
do you remember what kind of tattoos he had on his face?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But then they had another guy. It was like a group of guys. There were like 3 or 4 of them. They would smoke in the hallway and stuff like that, and just kind of do their own thing. You know, when it comes to stuff like that, I just try to walk away from my business. Mind my business.
Did all those guys? Did they all live together?
I think one of them used to always be a visitor, but I remember there was a lot of different interaction. As far as people who they would see and stuff like that.
I gotcha.
What made you go over there today? I know you said sometimes y'all would go a day or so without talking if she was mad, and it sounded like things kind of ended where she might have been a little bit mad last night. So what made you, what told you to get a ride and go over there this afternoon?
I called her about 30 times, and she hasn't responded to me since. She didn't respond to me since last night. Then I texted her this morning, and she didn't respond to me this morning either. And, normally whenever I ask her something about the kids, or if I say something to her, she responds. So I asked her mom to just tell her to call me or something like that. I thought maybe she might have been upset, but normally she gets over the small stuff. And, she still didn't reach out to me, so that was kind of like, let me see what's going on.
I gotcha. Alright, so nothing else came to your mind as far as being able to help us out with what direction to go, or something
I'm going to work with you guys on it. So
I appreciate it. Well, let me go see about your phone. Alright, hang on for a few more. And I know this, like I said, is taking a while, but it's easier to do this now than try to chase you down back in, bring you back in, and at least I'm getting everything I could possibly need from you now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me having to keep trying to hound you and come to your parents and looking for you, calling you. So
yeah, that sounds good.
I appreciate it. Mr. Armstrong.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk. Let's chat a little bit more. Listen up. So, straight up, there's some messages on the phone between you and Tasheka that are concerning, all right, to say the least.
All right.
I mean, there's stuff involving guns being put to heads and all that just within the past couple weeks. What's that all about? Knives?
Oh, with knives. Yeah, she was a little violent.
So what did she do?
She pulled a knife out on me while I was holding my daughter.
Okay.
One day, and I had it wasn't even a real gun. It was like a fake gun.
What kind of fake gun was it?
It was like a BB gun.
It was like a BB gun. What?
Yeah.
What kind of what did it have markings on it? Did it?
It was something that was store bought. It was a BB gun, but she tried to make it look like it wasn't.
Did it have an orange tip?
Yeah, it had an orange. It's just a BB gun.
Yeah. Did it have like a removable? Like, was it modeled after a gun? Or
I don't even know what kind it was, but
okay.
I'm not violent. Me and her,
Why would she be sending you texts saying that you pulled a gun on her?
I mean, it's a BB gun.
You positive about that?
Yeah, I am.
What'd you do with the BB gun?
It's probably still in her apartment.
Well, I mean, when you were there, what'd you do with it?
Oh, I pulled it out, and I didn't put it to her head.
When Young told her mother about the incident, she said he used a gun. Armstrong is trying to make the situation seem less violent than it was, but even a BB gun could have done damage at close range.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Why pull it out?
Because I felt threatened and I didn't have a real gun on me.
Do you remember what kind of gun that you reported stolen back in January?
Yeah, it was a Glock.
Do you know what kind?
It was a 43X.
43X. Do you know what caliber that is?
Yeah, it's like a 9.
It's a 9.
Yes.
So in the picture messages that she sent you on your phone, it's not a BB gun. It doesn't have an orange tip. And on the side, you want to guess what it says?
What?
It says Glock 43X.
Yeah, but the thing about that gun, I haven't seen that gun since January, and the BB gun that I pulled out, I don't think that she had a picture of it. Okay. But I know that gun is probably.
Why would you even pull out a gun?
I mean, she pulled a knife out on me.
When did this happen?
That might have been like a month ago.
About a month ago?
We talked earlier about stuff
Maybe
like that.
3.
You didn't mention anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't call the authorities or anything about it. I mean, she didn't want to call the authorities either because she felt like it would have been child endangerment.
Well, no doubt, it's child endangerment. Knives and guns are being pulled with kids in the apartment.
Yeah, but she had like a 22. I want to say it was like a LR or something like that.
But she's clearly telling you in the messages, you don't care about me. You pulled a gun twice, I think it says, and put it to her head.
No, it was just a BB gun.
She told her mom about it too.
Yeah. I know. I didn't really mention the knife, but if you look in the text thread, you'll.
I mean, y'all got a violent history.
No, but if you look at the text thread, you'll see that I
Trust me,
didn't.
we looked, and the common theme in that text thread is a lot of violence.
Yeah, I was non-abusive though. I didn't.
Well, she's claiming that you were putting a gun to her head, and she's got a picture of a gun that matches the same gun that you reported stolen.
But the gun, I think the picture of the gun that she had was probably like an older picture, because the BB.
The date on it's the 9th.
Yeah, but
which is 2 weeks ago.
No, but the thing about an iPhone is, people like, and I've seen her do it. That's how I learned about that type of stuff. iPhones, you could change the date of a picture through the app. Not even through the app, just through the phone.
Why would she do that?
I mean, she does stuff like that. That's just like she said that if you look at a lot of her messages, you'll see that a lot of the stuff was manipulative. And she said a lot of different stuff that was contradicting.
Who was the girl you were seeing 5 years ago before her? Before you got in a relationship with Tasheka, who were you seeing?
Probably my kid's mom. My first kid's mom.
What's her name?
Her name is Shantavius.
Alright, who? Someone between her and Tasheka.
Malika.
A girl starts name with a Y. Her name starts with a Y.
Why?
There's a police report from 2017 with you and another one.
Oh, Yakaria.
There you go.
Yakaria.
You got a history, man.
No, but Yakaria, I remember when she put her hands on me. This was over on the north side.
Yeah, but everything you said so far is you're the victim.
No, but my thing is...
When did you kick the door in?
I didn't kick a door.
You've never done damage to the apartment? When you
No, the bedroom door, that was when she pulled the knife on me. The bedroom door, I pushed it open, and I paid to get it fixed.
So if she pulled a knife on you, why'd you push the bedroom door open?
No, I had the BB gun and stuff like that, because I was holding my daughter when she pulled the knife on me. And I told her, I was like, that's like child endangerment, XYZ. I said a whole lot of different things to her, but I haven't seen the...
So walk me through this. She pulled a knife on you while you were holding your kid.
Yeah.
And then what did you do?
She still held it, and I didn't have a real weapon, so I pulled out I grabbed the BB gun.
You grabbed a BB gun?
Yeah.
From where?
I grabbed it, I had it in a bag.
You had it in a bag?
Yeah.
And then where does you pushing the door in come in all this?
It was I really didn't push the door in. I really didn't push it in. She kind of tried to shove me a little bit, but I didn't want to put my hands on her. And that was kind of partially one of the reasons why I started staying over in Middleburg after that incident. That's why.
You're kind of dancing around this. First you said you paid to have the door fixed. And
Yeah.
now you're saying you didn't push the door open.
I paid to have it fixed because she doesn't have the money to pay for it, and they would.
So how did the door get broken?
The door got broken because she and we were like right in front of the door, and I was she had the knife, I had a BB gun, I was worried about the knife.
A BB gun that you got out of a bag?
Yeah.
Did you bring the bag? Was the bag there?
No, my bag was already over there.
Okay.
But I didn't have a real gun, and I wasn't about to pull a knife on her. I had set my kids to the side and stuff like that.
She's pretty specific in that message that she sent you 2 weeks ago with a picture of the Glock 43X saying this is the same gun you put to my head twice.
No, that's not true.
Well, I mean, that's what she's telling you.
The thing about her is, when I had the black BB gun, really it was spray painted. When I pulled it out, she was kind of shocked by it, but I had to kind of scare her off. I did it to scare her off.
Yeah, but the picture is not of a BB gun. That's not what
No, I mean
that's a Glock 43X.
but any picture that she'll have, it would be of something that is around her. Like when I reported that gun stolen, I don't know what she did with it when I reported it. But
did you tell her in the text, like, hey, why do you still have a picture of that gun? I thought it was stolen.
No, I mean, no.
Give me just a second. Let me grab that phone real quick. We'll go through some of these texts, because this isn't making any sense whatsoever.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything about it.
Well, you're gonna have to help us make sense of this because
No,
this is like a lot more violent than what you initially led us to believe had occurred between y'all.
I mean, she'll tell you that I'm not violent.
I understand that, but well, you said that earlier that y'all basically just kind of verbally argued.
Yeah, just like with the knife incident, I didn't feel the need to tell.
Yeah, but your chance earlier to disclose that was then, and now here we are having to confront you. That's not the case. Looking at the phone.
I understand.
You made it sound like verbal arguments, okay? Was the only thing that y'all had before.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing pictures involving guns being put to people's heads. You're saying she's pulled a knife on you while you were holding your child. I mean, that's way more than verbal arguing.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I know that I wouldn't do anything to her. Like, even when it came down to it, me and her, we could have, most couples would probably fist fight or something like that. I still didn't put my hands on her. When she pulled a knife on me, I didn't have any type of weapon. And I know she had a 22, I know she had like a 22 gun, but I didn't know where she kept it. So I grabbed a BB gun. That was like the quickest thing, but I didn't tell my parents about the incident. I didn't let anybody know about it.
You go by BJ, right?
Yeah.
BJ, listen to me. Stuff's starting to not add up, man.
I understand, but I didn't do anything to her.
I mean, we've talked to her mother, of course you can imagine, okay?
I understand.
She's very close with her mother, you know that.
Definitely.
So pretty much everything that's happened between y'all, she's disclosed to her mother. And some of the stuff that her mother informed us about matches up to exactly what's on the phone between y'all.
I understand, but even when it comes down to it, I never called my parents in regards to a knife or anything or a gun. When it came to her parents, I never reached out to them about it. I would just remove myself from the situation. Like the day that happened, I think that might have been one of the last days that I was over there.
Have you ever pulled out a gun on her?
Not a real one.
But you pulled out a BB gun?
Yeah, I pulled out a BB gun.
Why were you carrying a BB gun around with you?
I mean, because, I might go outside and shoot some pellets or something like that.
Come on, man.
I mean, seriously.
You gonna go to her apartment?
No, I mean, because
and shoot pellets at an apartment?
The thing, I mean, not really outside, but like in the grass in the wooded area. There's a wooded area over there, and I would shoot little pellets and stuff like that.
Alright, well, let's just run through a couple things and you explain it to us, because right now, like I said, it's not making sense.
So this is from the 9th, which was 2 weeks ago. She's saying that you tore the family apart. This is trauma for her kids. I'm so hurt.
I felt the same.
She's talking about signing the rights over, which I can only imagine would infuriate you because you said you love your kids. What about a gun being put to my head twice? You took my car keys. What was that all about?
I didn't take her car keys.
Okay, she's just saying that for fun.
Yeah, I know she was trying to take the kids and stuff, but at that point, once she pulled a knife out on me, by her pulling a knife out on me while I was holding my daughter, I felt like she would have did anything. And I also knew that she had a weapon. So I moved the keys, but I gave her car keys back to her. I told her, I was just like, I'm about to leave, because I couldn't drive. So.
Is that why you broke the door down?
No. We almost got into a tussle, but we didn't. That was me, like, because she was poking at me. And I was kind of trying to, like, push her away a little bit, but I didn't want to.
So how do you break a door doing that? That doesn't make much sense.
You don't really break it, but if you have a door, like, pre-locked, and if you push it, it was like that.
Okay, so the door was shut or open?
It was like, both of us, we were, like, tugging it.
She's on the back side of the door, you're on one side of the door?
No, I had went into the bedroom.
So you were in the bedroom, she's in the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're trying to shut the door?
A little bit.
And she's trying to open the door?
Yeah, because I was trying to grab the kids.
Because you were trying to grab the kids, because she's coming at you with a knife, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay, well then why does she say, then I walked away, you followed me into my room and broke the door. I ran into the bathroom to hide, and you put a gun to my head.
That's not true.
Okay, well you didn't say that's not true.
No, she did that.
But you didn't say that's not true here.
That's not. In a text message, I'm not gonna go back and forth in a text message.
So you said, I'm a grown man, don't pull a weapon out on me while I have my child.
Yeah.
BJ, when you went in that room last night, you got on top of her and she's in that bed, you pulled out that gun.
In what room?
Her bedroom.
What are you talking about?
There's a bullet hole through her pillow. There's bullet holes in her.
How many times did she get shot?
That's your children's mother, man.
How many times did she get shot?
What I tell you earlier. There's two ways people go in this situation, right?
How many times did she get shot?
You're trying to save yourself right now, BJ.
No, I'm being honest.
You're more worried about yourself than you are this
No,
poor
I'm
woman.
worried about me getting, I'm worried about
You
going
haven't
home.
been there 24/7 for these kids. She has.
No, I provide for my children.
That's fine. You
every
monetarily,
day in and
but
day
you're
out.
not there for them day in and day out. She is.
Absolutely, I am.
She's not there anymore
But
because of what happened between y'all last night.
I didn't do anything to her.
That's not true.
I promise
You
I
lied
did.
already to me.
I haven't even been over
I gave
there.
you your chance earlier to come
I have
clean
not
and
been
come correct.
over there. I have not been there.
You sat there and told me verbal altercations, verbal this, verbal
Yeah,
that.
but I told you that
And
couples.
now you're admitting that she's pulled knives, you pulled out a
Yeah,
BB gun.
but
None of this stuff was mentioned.
but also in my statement, I told you, I said that most couples go through it. I said I'm not one to.
I understand that, but I gave you a chance earlier. I've been very respectful with you.
Yeah,
right?
I'm being honest with you as well.
But you hit stuff. You
but I
didn't
know-
disclose all this earlier.
My first time going to that apartment complex since last week was today when I showed up over there. I have not been over there. So regardless of what type of altercation she and I have, regardless of how it goes, I haven't seen her in a week. I haven't been there. You look at my phone, you said something about locations and stuff like that. I haven't left Middleburg at all.
Well, interesting, all your locations recently have been deleted, so we can't see your recent
What do you mean
histories.
they've been deleted?
They're not there. It doesn't go back until like the 14th is your last history. So if you've been,
14th.
have you used your phone since the 14th? Today's the 24th.
Yeah, I'm always in Middleburg.
So in 10 days, have you used this phone at all?
Yes.
Okay, so when you use the phone,
if you look at our text messages, it'll tell you that I haven't, we talked about the fact that I haven't been going over there.
okay, well you were there as recently as the 9th when this all happened. She's
Yeah.
apparently got screen grabs. We're downloading her phone right now too, and then all of the deleted stuff that was on here we got on the download. We're just waiting on that to come back on the disc, and we'll see all that.
All right.
This is your chance to separate yourself. Remember I said earlier? There's situations where people find themselves in, good people find themselves in a bad situation
Understood,
where
but
they momentarily lose control. Hold on. And then there's, beyond that, true evil. There's cold-blooded killers that can kill someone in cold blood and then lie about it.
All right.
So how do you want to be seen?
I haven't done anything. I know that the last time I
So
saw.
she's just accusing you. Between the two of y'all, she didn't call police, so
My
she's not
thing
trying to
is-
set you up with
No,
us.
no. My thing is, couples go at it all the time. Different
Arguments?
things.
Sure.
Different things take
Verbally,
place.
we acknowledge that
But
earlier.
yeah.
Guns
definitely.
and knives.
Yeah, but she and I, those were just things that happened between she and myself. It even says in there, she'll tell you I'm not violent. She says in the I know because we talked about it. We agreed that I'm not a violent person. I wouldn't do anything to her.
Well, I don't see that you're not violent in here. I see right here. She says, "All I see is you putting a gun to my head, and I think I have PTSD from all the things you've put me through. I'm
That's
done."
how she
She's
did.
clear.
And you say, I saw that my life was in danger when you pulled out a knife on me and made me grab my gun. So you're acknowledging here that you grabbed your gun.
Yeah.
Right.
But it wasn't a real gun.
But just below this, she sends a picture of the knife, and she sends a picture of your gun, which is a Glock 43X.
But that's not even. That Glock 43X. She had
Tell us
pictures.
what happened over there 24 hours ago.
No, I haven't been there.
Armstrong likely didn't give much thought to the details when he decided to kill Young. If he had, he may have considered the damaging evidence that could be on her phone and chosen a method that at least didn't directly tie him to the murder weapon.
You can ask the residents. You can whatever you have to do. I haven't been there. The first time that I got there was today. I have not been there. Honestly,
What went down in that apartment last night?
I don't know. I texted her this morning. I texted her this afternoon. I didn't even know that anything had even happened at the apartment until
Why
you
didn't you
guys
mention
told
this stuff
me.
earlier?
Because a lot of times that's private couple stuff.
Yeah, but we're sitting in here talking about your children's mother who's been murdered in
I
cold
mean,
blood.
when I know that I'm not guilty of something, I shouldn't have to disclose the details of my
You
relationship
should
with
disclose
her.
everything you can to let us know, like, hey, these are the incidents that occurred. We spoke about specific incidents between y'all, and you acknowledged that everything had been verbal. There had never been physical violence.
Yeah, for the most part.
That's physical violence that y'all are
That's-
speaking
no,
about back
no,
and
but
forth.
but none of us, we never put our hands on each other.
And you said the last time you called the police on her or something about something.
I mean, she pulled a knife on me
So
a
do you
couple of
remember
times.
taking that? Have you seen that picture?
Yeah, I remember that picture.
Okay. Were you there when she took that picture?
No, I wasn't.
No? Are you familiar with live photos?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what happens when I hold my thumb down on a live
Yeah,
photo?
it shows
Okay.
an image.
And it does audio too,
Yeah.
right?
I think I recorded a whole video.
You hear that?
Girl, that's the knife you tried.
Girl, that's the knife you tried.
To stab me with.
Right. So if you weren't there taking the photo, then how's your voice on there saying, "Girl, that's the knife you tried to stab me with"?
I mean, it's a lot of video clips with her doing stuff in it.
Right. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is during that incident on the 9th when
Yeah,
she
I took
tried to
pictures.
when she had the knife. Right. She's
took
taking
pictures.
it. Well, yeah. You're taking a picture with that, and you're holding it down.
Yeah.
Girl, that's the knife you tried.
That's the knife that you tried to do what?
Yeah.
But then on that same counter, I mean, you see all that stuff. There's that purple candle, it looks like, or something. There's a little green bag right there and everything like that.
Mhm.
Now, and some Dawn, okay, I see the Dawn dishwashing detergent, the little green thing, and what looks like like a purple candle or something right there. Now, do you see anything that looks like a green bag, a Dawn dishwashing detergent, or a candle in this photo?
One more time. What's the difference in those photos?
Well, I'm talking about when I'm looking at the photo of the knife, that with your voice, that's the picture of the knife that you sent her on the 9th. I see on the counter. I'll zoom in so you can see it too.
That means that.
There's the Dawn, right?
That means that.
And there's the candle. And there's that green bag. And right next to that green bag, do you see that? Right next to that green bag and the Dawn that's on the same counter as that knife?
That means that the gun wasn't in my possession.
Right, but it's a Glock 43X. You see that Glock 43X?
That means that gun wasn't in my possession. That's what it
Right,
means.
it wasn't. It might not have been. Not on this. It's on the counter in that picture, right?
But
that picture is from the same day that y'all are texting about her threatening you with a knife, with your voice.
Girl, that's the knife you tried.
Girl, that's the knife, and everything on the counter. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Like that.
How does she do stuff
You
like that?
can change the date on the picture with
Sure,
the phone.
you can change the date on the picture on the phone, but how is she taking a picture of the Glock back in January, 7 months ago, with the same green thing that looks like a Folgers or some kind of coffee thing, the same dish detergent, the same stuff on the counter as the stuff on the knife 7 months later?
I don't know.
Okay, you understand it's not going to be he and I judging you. Right?
I understand,
So how do you want to be judged? You're going to be judged as a man who got caught up in his emotions with having some sort of altercation with his girl?
I want to be judged as an honest man because I know that I didn't do anything
Or
to her.
as the cold-blooded killer who left his children's mother laying there in cold blood with his kids in the apartment with her and left
I didn't
to save yourself.
I didn't do anything like that.
What time did you leave there last night?
I wasn't there last night.
Okay.
Where's the gun?
I don't even have that gun.
Do you love your kids?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Would you leave them there by themselves from 2 o'clock in the morning until 7 p.m. the next day with their dead mother laying right there?
Is that how you found my kids?
Laying on their dead mother.
They were laying on her.
BJ, you need to
Shot
tell us.
with the same Glock that you have, that
Y'all
you
didn't
threatened
tell
her
me
with
that.
2 weeks ago.
Y'all didn't tell me that.
You need to tell us, man.
I didn't do anything. I wasn't there. I don't even have that gun.
Where's it
I
at?
mean,
I wouldn't know.
you're trying to make it sound like you don't have a history of violence and all that, but you do with other women.
I don't.
With your own family, your grandma trespassed you. When did you trespass?
Why'd your mom get you trespassed from your own grandmother's house just in October?
My mom has a issue.
Or do you
Right.
you hear yourself? You're putting everything is on everybody else.
So your first baby mama with a 5-year-old has an issue. The in-between girlfriend has an issue that's got a report against you. Your current girl's got an issue with, that causes you to put guns to her head.
And your own mother.
Armstrong falls into the typical pattern of abusers, blaming everyone else for his own actions. He likely believes his own lies and is genuinely frustrated that the detectives don't see the situation from his point of view.
Your own mother's got an issue that causes her to trespass you. So do you see the common denominator? I got 4 different people all have an issue with the same one person.
I understand, but when it comes to my mother, my mom has...
Well, not just your mother
my mother
and your
has
past 3
mental
baby
sclerosis.
mamas.
My mom has multiple sclerosis. I only have two
That's got nothing to
mothers
do
of
with
my
mental.
kids. When it comes to Yakaria got violent with me because she used to be like a...
Where's your accountability?
I'm being accountable, but
You're not. You're blaming it on
no,
everyone else.
you guys are trying to say that I was in a place where I wasn't, and you're trying to say that I had a gun that I didn't have, and we're looking at the text messages from a manipulative woman, and you're trying to make sure.
You definitely hid stuff from us.
I'm saying, but
You didn't bring up anything about guns and knives earlier.
no, but when it came down to it, in my statement, I said that we had disagreements and things like that.
Yeah, and I
but
specifically asked you about violence and physical, and you said no, none of that. Well, maybe one time there was a time she pulled a knife a year ago or something. I think I had to call.
I mean, I did.
That's a year ago.
This
is 2 weeks ago.
I understand, but I didn't want to mention that.
Because you didn't want to mention the whole part of you putting a gun to her head?
No, I just didn't want to. I
You
didn't want to taint her. No, I didn't want to taint
You're in
her.
self-preservation mode.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
want
you are.
to. I didn't
You're
want
trying
to
to save
taint
yourself
her.
right now.
No, I'm really not, because at the end of the day, of course I'm going to save myself, but at the end of the day, I know that I wasn't there. I wasn't. I didn't even know what happened. I texted her around 10 something last night, and I text her like I never left. I don't even have a car.
DJ, you had me convinced there for a minute, man. I came in here, he did it. Then after talking to you, okay, he's being strident. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't even.
Come on, man. You can't. How do you explain that?
I'm being honest. Like
That's a Glock 43X.
My thing is, she probably had. I mean,
Right. Let's say she manipulated the phone.
But even when I reported it stolen, when I reported that gun stolen, I think that she had a guy that she was talking to, and I think that she gave it to him originally. Another time she had a gun. She had a 22.
But you never refute it here. You never refute that you never refute that you put a gun to her head all these times that she claims it. You never refute that you weren't there.
Because
you never refute that that's a gun that was gone months ago.
But at that point, she and I, we had already been talking to each other. We had still been around each other. We were still going around each other. So I really didn't feel the need, like in a text message. Sometimes you can look at a person being manipulative or being overly objective or something like that, or making up something or wagging their tail, and you just choose to look over it, because at the end of the day, whenever she would text me, she would try to show it to somebody to make it look like I did something, and a lot of those times I never did. When it came down to my children,
you manipulated me.
I didn't manipulate anybody.
You're manipulating.
No, I'm being honest.
You have all these altercations and all these incidents with different women, including your own mother.
Me and my mother have never really been in any true altercations.
She called the police and had you trespass from your own grandmother's house.
The only reason she did that was because.
And I'm having to confront the.
No.
I'm having to confront you on all these things.
When it came, when it came to that, she and I. Like, I didn't do anything, but I didn't really have anywhere to stay at that point. And I had a lot going on. And my mom has multiple sclerosis. She called law enforcement on my 12-year-old brother as well. So, I kind of want to leave my mom's medical history out of it, but she knows that she was kind of going through it a little bit. So, at the end of the day.
You're just a victim in all this?
No, I'm not a victim in all of it, but
that's what it makes it. That's what it makes it sound like.
No, but I know where I was and I know where I wasn't, and I know that last night I probably went to sleep at around maybe 11 o'clock. And
When did you wake up?
maybe around 7 something.
Did you wake up any time in between those two times?
Yeah, I think, every time, you argue with somebody, you text them in the middle of the night, see if they alright, stuff like that.
Did you text her in the middle of the night?
I believe so. I always do.
After 11? And before 7?
PJ.
More than likely.
A man who got caught up in an emotional moment, cold-blooded killer.
I wasn't over there, and I didn't do it.
You pick which category you want to go in.
I didn't do
I
it.
can't do it for you. You pick it.
I didn't do it,
I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have to justify in your own mind
and I wasn't there.
how you left your 2 kids there.
What did she do? I mean, what happened last night? What did she do to drive
I
you
wasn't
to that
there
point?
last night. I wasn't there last night. I didn't even know what happened.
Where's the key? Earlier you said, I think I have a key. Where's the key to her apartment that you said you have?
I think it's over at my. I think it's like in one of my bags.
Where, at home?
More than likely.
Why would you come over there today to her apartment without the key?
I wasn't at her apartment.
You got a ride from your stepdad to the apartment today. Why would you come to her apartment without the key that you have
I
to
did
the
not
apartment?
get a ride from my I didn't get a ride from anybody.
How'd you get there today? Earlier,
My stepdad took me over there,
I just said that. You just said you didn't get a ride.
but I couldn't even.
Why did you come over there? Why would you get your stepdad to drive you all the way from Middleburg to her apartment and not bring the key that you have to her apartment with you?
Oh, because anytime.
If you were worried something
no,
was wrong with her,
No, because anytime I go,
what were you gonna do when you got there?
We weren't having bad blood. Like,
What were you gonna do when you got there without a key?
knock on the door? Knock on the door. Me and her, we weren't having like. She and I, we can argue with each other and we'll still see one another.
Okay.
Just like with that situation when she pulled that knife on me, we
But
were
you
fine.
came over there worried something was wrong because you hadn't been able to get hold of her. You've got 2 young kids in that apartment.
But
and if there's something
did
wrong
you-
with her,
do-
you wouldn't bring a key to get in there to check on your kids?
Do you see how many times I called and texted her before I showed up? Do you see the message that I sent her mother when I asked her when I was concerned?
I'm not fooled by it.
No, my thing is when I got out there, I thought that I was going to be able to walk up to the door and just knock on the door. Why would I even have my stepdad come into a situation where there's any
Aren't
type
gonna
of
lie
drama?
your way out of this.
I'm not lying.
You're skirting around everything. Everything that we're bringing up, you're skirting around.
And you
I'm
did
being
not bring
honest.
up any of this. This is out of everything we've talked about tonight. Guns and knives being pulled and messages like that as recent as 2 weeks
Couples
ago.
do that type of stuff all the time.
No,
but
they don't.
But nobody ever gets hurt.
If I had the bullshit flag right now, I'd plop it right down on the table in front of you. That
No,
is
but
not true.
I'm being so honest.
I've never put a gun to any of my
I mean,
significant
a
others' heads.
BB gun,
it's not
something
a,
like that.
you can stop joking.
but
We
you
know it's
have
not
to-
a BB gun.
but
We
she-
know it's that Glock 43X.
But she was she is violent. She is violent.
She might be.
I pulled out a BB gun. When it comes down to that 9,
You carried the BB gun around over there because you like to go outside and shoot pellets in the grass and stuff. You said.
really one of the guys who stayed in that apartment complex, they left it outside and I grabbed it.
My bullshit flag's gonna be flying.
No,
like crazy
seriously.
right now,
No,
bro.
seriously.
Come on.
So then,
Seriously.
okay, let's say then how did she send a picture? Let's look how everything's set on the counter right now, right? If I take a picture, here's a knife. I take a picture of that knife, just that knife, but you can kind of see all this other stuff, right? And then I send that to you. You take that picture. But 7 months earlier, I take a picture. Instead of this being a knife, it's a gun. And all of this stuff is in the same spot. No. All of this stuff is in the same spot on the counter. You tell me how that's possible.
Because that's my thing is that's the only thing that she probably would have seen me with at any time throughout our relationship.
You realize he and I sit in this room all the time and do this for a living? You understand this is what we do for a living?
Understood.
Okay. So when someone's completely innocent, we don't have to worry about shit like that popping up on the phones. We don't have to worry about all the information that was withheld from us early on in the
Just
interview.
ask her where I was last night. Ask my mom. She
She was
called.
asleep.
I think everybody was.
She might know where you were at 11 or 12 o'clock. Where were you at 2 o'clock?
I think that everybody. I mean, Just call
You just
her.
said she has all kind of mental stuff and health issues going on.
No, she has multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
But
Which caused her to trespass you from your grandma's house, right?
my mom had a lot going on at that point.
You got a lot going on right now.
But
I'll be honest, you got a lot going on.
Understood,
right now.
but when it comes down to it, everybody was together last night. Everybody.
Until when?
Until about 6 o'clock this afternoon. 6 o'clock this afternoon was the first time that I left. No, I left on a bicycle and rode to Walgreens and bought me a lighter earlier today around 2 p.m. and that was in Middleburg.
What about last night?
Last night, I probably sat on the patio on the porch and smoked a couple of cigarettes. I probably went to sleep.
Until what time did you go to sleep?
I probably went to sleep around 11:30.
Okay.
And I know I texted her. I probably went to sleep maybe around 1. I don't know. It was late. The last time I texted her, between the time I went to sleep, it could be a different time. But I know that I sent her a text. I was trying to see if she was awake. It's like, hey, you up?
What'd you do to your elbow?
What do you mean?
You got a wound right there on your elbow. Where'd that come from?
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that happened.
You said you used to play on your laptop and sit in the house all day. What'd you do to your
No,
elbow?
this came from the back of that police car when they with how the seats are, the plastic.
Can you do me a
The
favor?
same thing with
Can
my
you jump
wrist.
up and take your shirt off? Spin around for me. You need to tell us what happened over there, man.
I didn't do anything. I haven't been there. I want to know what happened over there, just like you.
Okay, so again, you came over. Now we're talking yesterday afternoon. Okay, you got there at what time? 5 o'clock, 5:30ish. Not long after we got there.
Today.
You showed up. You came from across town, knowing in your mind something's wrong, something's not right. She's not answering the phone. I've got my 2 young kids in there, and I can't get hold of her. This is not like her. It disturbed you enough that you had your stepdad drive you from Middleburg all the way to the north side of Jacksonville, but yet you went without the key?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Because, I mean,
if you're gonna knock on the door, she's already not answering the phone. What if something's wrong with her? How are you gonna get in there?
At least I would have known that she was home and everything was fine. I mean, there have been times where she gave me a house key, gave me a key to her apartment, and then she asked for it back, and then she gave it back to me and stuff like that. So there would be different times when I would go over there. I'd just knock on the door, she'd open the door. So I know that if I go over there any time of day and I knock on that door, I know she's gonna open it.
Why did she tell her mom a couple weeks ago you pulled a gun on her, and then lo and behold, y'all have text message exchanges between y'all from a couple weeks ago where she's saying you pulled a gun on her and put it to her head?
My thing is, whenever it comes down to
she set all that up
when it comes
just
down
to get herself killed?
No, get herself killed by who?
You tell me.
My thing is,
why did she say you pulled a gun on her to her mom, and then tell you the same thing in the text message?
Because it was a BB gun, but she doesn't have a photo of.
Where's the BB gun?
It's probably in her apartment.
Her apartment?
Yeah.
I promise you, it's not.
It's probably I didn't take it with me.
What'd you do with the Glock?
I don't even know where it is. I never had it. When I reported it.
What?
No, once I reported it, that was the last time it was in my possession.
You said she had a 22 earlier, and you just mentioned it again earlier. You never said anything about her having a Glock 43X.
No, I didn't. I told you the Glock 43. I told you that the Glock 43X was reported back in
January, but yet here we have pictures of it 2 weeks ago, and that she's claiming this is the very gun that you put to her head.
I think she probably changed the date on that because she's changed. Sometimes she changes the dates on pictures because sometimes when she's out, she might say that she's Instacarting. And I used to make a fuss about it. I used to look at the times on it, and I say you weren't there at that time. So she has a habit of adjusting.
But it's not the date.
This one.
You understand? We've gone through this. It's not the date.
I don't know her setup in her apartment. Her counter could have had the same stuff on it from that time to that time. I don't know that.
This is your children's mother, man. She was pregnant with what you assumed to be your third child.
Exactly. So why would I do something like that?
Why
Because
does
she was
anybody-
threatening to kick you out. She was
No,
threatening.
she wasn't.
She
She
was
just-
threatening to take your rights away.
No.
And
she-
you've been paying.
no,
You've been working
no,
so
no, no,
hard, and you've been paying for her, and you've been paying for the kids, and now she's with someone else. She's possibly having a kid with someone else. She wants to take your rights away. She doesn't want you to be around her kids anymore. And you go over there and confront her about it, and things. You put the gun to her head again.
No, just this past, when was this? Wednesday. Just Wednesday, she told me, she was like, I would never do that. I would never try to terminate your rights. And I
That's
think
what she said in the text.
No. Look at the most recent text. The most recent text say that she wanted to be a family.
When
I sent her something from TD Jakes. I sent her something from TD Jakes.
What
and
happened
I
when she
talked
filed
about,
for the injunction against you?
She never filed it. She was doing that.
She filed it. She might have filed a motion to dismiss it later, but she filed for an injunction against you.
I was supposed to file one as well.
You didn't mention that earlier either.
I was supposed to file one
Why
as well.
didn't you mention any of this stuff earlier?
I didn't mention filing the paperwork on the other stuff. I mean, at the end of the day,
What did you think I was looking for earlier? I mean,
trying to see where I was, if I had just trying to see who committed the murder.
Right.
I didn't even know that
what
there
I tell you,
was
the
a
first
murder.
starting point always is you, the person closest to her, the person that's got the most emotional tie to her.
Understood. But
Because emotions can lead to some pretty crazy things happening. Why does anybody walk in this room that's married to someone or has kids with someone that's just killed them
yeah,
and
but
lie about it?
I haven't been over there. I have not been over there. I'm looking for the same thing that you're looking for, and it just seems to.
Well, you can leave your phone at home and go do something that makes it look like you weren't there. I'm not.
Why in the hell would I do that?
Why does anybody do anything?
Because if I were to go to her apartment and if I don't have a key or something on me, I would need my phone so I can call her. That's like when I showed up today.
You know what the name of this case is going to be in my file? Daddy shot mommy.
That's not right.
Daddy shot mommy.
That's not right.
So the 3-year-old's lying on you too?
My 3-year-old.
Your kid's lying on you too?
my-
You've already accused multiple women and your mother of
no.
lying.
You said no.
Your 3-year-old and your 2-year-old that from 2 a.m. until 7 p.m. tonight were by themselves.
You know why you got snatched up when you showed up earlier? You know why those officers snatched you up so quick?
Why?
Because daddy shot mommy. Daddy killed mommy.
I don't think that is true.
You don't think that's true?
I don't think that my son said that.
Armstrong may be in denial, but his son's testimony matches with the rest of the evidence. During the trial, the jury were unable to believe Armstrong's excuses for the child's accusation.
He did. We
I got it on a
tape.
recorded interview.
I don't think that he said
Not
that.
only that, but her entire family said knows y'all's history. Know you've kicked in the door.
But
Knows
think-
you've held a gun to her head.
But when-
Know you've been violent to your past girlfriend that starts with a Y. Know you've been violent with your past baby mama with a 5-year-old. Know you've been violent with your own family to make your own mom trespass you from your grandma's house.
I've never.
Know that you've been violent.
I haven't been violent against my mother, and I haven't been violent against her either. Even when it came down to it, if you really look at if you look at everything that
I am looking at everything.
No,
I'm looking
but-
at your history
No,
with
but-
4 different individuals that have all had issues with you.
the stuff with Yakaria, when she I'm talking about Yakaria.
You're just skirting around.
No,
You're just skirting
I'm
around.
going down the list.
No, you're
When-
making an excuse for each
No, I'm
one
not
trying to
making it.
justify
No,
it.
I'm not making an excuse, but I'm telling the truth.
Cool. Fuck Yakaria. I don't care about Yakaria. Tell me why your 3-year-old son said daddy shot mommy tonight.
I do not know. I was not there. I haven't been in Jacksonville city lines since I left Mission Point last week. And my mother, you can call my mother and she can
You haven't been or your phone hasn't been?
one more time.
You have not been or your phone hasn't been?
I haven't been.
Why don't you have any location history on your phone since July 14th? Why is it there up until July 14th and then it's not?
I don't know. Just call my mom. I don't know.
We talked to your mom.
All right.
She doesn't know what she did after 11 that night. She went to bed.
I don't have a car.
Your dad went to bed. Well,
You
that didn't stop you from getting all around town all the time.
July 14th was last week, right? That's the last time you said you were there. Your phone shows that. You already knew that when you told me that you had deleted it up till then. That's why you said that.
No, that's not why I said
You
that.
know your phone wasn't with you last night when you went back over there to confront her, to do whatever it
I
did.
had,
and
I
shit
had
went
my
south.
phone next to me last night. My phone was next to me
up
while
until
I was
the point
in bed.
you left.
No, I didn't leave at all. Why would I leave without my cell phone? Why would I leave without my cell phone?
Because you knew what you were going to do.
Seriously, why would I leave without my cell phone?
Why'd you leave with a Glock 43X?
I didn't even have a gun.
How did that gun go missing in January and then it resurfaced on the same day that she's claiming that you're holding a gun to your head?
Because
That you're taking a video of a knife that she threatened you with on the same counter with the same items that the gun is sitting on. That you claim is some big coincidence.
No, because she doesn't have a picture of a BB. She doesn't have a picture of the BB gun.
Right. She's got a picture of a Glock 43X.
Yeah. So
How is that the
exactly.
same gun that went missing 6-7 months ago?
I understand.
That is now on her counter.
When you talk about
2 weeks ago.
when you talk
when
about
she's
the staging,
claiming you held a gun to your head.
I understand, but
when
when
her door got broken.
I understand, but when you talk about the staging of everything, people leave things set up in a certain type of order on their counters all the time. So I can't help if, like, I don't stay there. I can't say if she had a green box or a blue box. Some people set their stuff up a certain type of way, and she was one of those types of people. When it comes down,
do you understand how big of a coincidence that is, and just how silly you sound right now?
PJ,
I don't.
listen,
I'm not in Jacksonville enough for a gun to be there.
You're an educated man. We are too. Okay. The difference is we do this for a living. You don't. So we recognize when it smells like shit, it's probably shit.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
Your
But-
story, in everything you said earlier, okay. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you failed to mention some pretty crucial stuff.
I mean, at the end of the day,
You tried to paint this picture like y'all just had normal little arguments. It gets verbal.
They
yeah,
were
whatever.
normal.
That's not normal.
I mean, but we weren't. Nobody was fighting. We weren't putting our
Having
hands on
BB
each
guns,
other.
pulling BB guns
I
out
mean,
on her, knives,
but we weren't putting our hands on
sending
each
pictures
other.
back and forth of
Even-
knives and guns.
Yeah, but even in the text messages, she'll say that, yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you aren't a violent person, because she knows that I would never put my hands on her.
busting doors down. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but look
She
at.
said she has PTSD because of the things that you've done.
She would say
That you
anything.
held a gun to her head
She would
twice.
She would say anything.
Do you know what she said right before she got shot? Don't do this. I love you. Daddy hurt mommy. Do you know that's an apartment? It's a 3-story apartment complex with adjoining walls. You think no one heard?
So if she said
you think no one heard a boom? You think no one heard the door
so
being
she
kicked
had
in?
a guy. So she had a guy outside of me. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying you.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Okay.
Earlier, I was believing you. I don't believe you anymore.
I wasn't there. That's the truth.
Cold-blooded killer.
I'm not.
Well, we thought it was a heat of the moment, maybe an accident, some kind of passion thing. Because
I
that's
don't know what it
understandable.
was because
you lose
I
your
wasn't
temper.
there.
You're about to lose your family. You've been working so
No, I
hard,
wasn't
paying
gonna-
for
no,
them.
I wasn't
That's
gonna-
one thing.
no.
That's understandable.
No, I
I
wasn't
can
gonna lose
understand
my
how that
family.
can happen.
No, I
what I
wasn't gonna
don't
lose my
understand
family.
is a cold-blooded killer that can shoot someone that loves them, that says, please don't shoot me, I love you, don't do this, then leaves their 2- and 3-year-old in a room for over 12 hours with their dead mother by themselves, goes back home and acts like nothing's happened. That's what I don't understand.
That's the proof that I didn't do it. Because I would never leave my 2-year-old I would never leave my 1-year-old or my 3-year-old anywhere by themselves. And the simple fact that I wasn't there shows that if that's what was said, it shows that she was probably dealing with somebody else. I haven't been there in over a week. And even when you look at my locations and everything like that,
because you deleted them.
How can I delete my
You
location
deleted
from my
everything
phone?
after the last time you were there, which you told us about.
I didn't delete what? Delete my location?
Come on,
How do you delete your location from your phone?
You understand how many people have sat in that very chair and tried to run the same game you're trying to run?
No, don't phones link up to towers in certain areas? Don't the towers pick them up or something like that, and you can tell the vicinity and stuff like that? So I don't hide my location from my phone. just look at everything. Just look at it.
And you came all the way over there knowing something was wrong without the key to even get in the apartment.
Because if I knock on the door, I've been trying to get in contact with her all day.
Okay, so if you can't get in
And
contact with her, what
no.
makes you believe she's going to open the door?
No, but I called her mom, and when I called her mom, and I was like, hey, just tell Tasheka to call me. And her mom was like, all right. And I didn't hear anything from her mom, and I still got word because I have kids from her. I didn't plan on really being in Jacksonville that much longer. So I wanted to make sure everything was all right. Once I got to the scene, I still didn't know what was going on until, I asked you guys, I asked different police officers, and they said that they couldn't tell me what happened
Do you know
until I spoke to a detective.
You know what she told her mom about you? That you're a one person one minute and a completely, totally different, violent person the next minute.
She was the
and
same
you have
way.
all the history that shows that.
She would
including the history with her.
She would say anything. I can't really.
That's what you're doing right now.
No, but even in a text message, she's like overly manipulative when it came down to it.
You just walk around with a BB gun just because you might feel like going outside and shooting pellets.
No, I didn't. I didn't walk around with it. But
You just happened to have it when she threatened you with a knife?
no, it's one of the guys left it on the steps.
The same day?
No, not that same day.
Well, how did you just happen to have it to pull it out on her when she pulled a knife on you?
Because once I think I grabbed it.
You think?
I think I grabbed it a while prior to that.
You don't specifically remember having to pull a gun on your own children's mother and get a knife pulled on you?
A BB gun?
That's not something that's specifically ingrained in your mind.
It was a BB gun. I don't even think that she...
It was a Glock 43X that she took a picture of the same day. The same Glock 43X.
But what I'm saying is, I don't even think that she knew that it was a BB gun until I said that.
You said it had an orange tip.
Yeah, but no, it was spray painted. But
you're saying that now. Before you said it had an orange tip.
No, I told you it was.
And that one is not a BB gun. That's a Glock 43X that you can read.
But what you're saying about the Glock 43X, I told you that that's probably an older photo. People change dates on those pictures just so things add up.
Not only is Armstrong wrong about being able to change the dates, but it made no sense for Young to do so. As far as she knew, that was a conversation between the two of them that no one else would ever see.
Is that a gun at your house?
I don't have that gun.
Okay. Are you good with us searching your house and your room and everything like that to make sure that gun's not there?
That's fine. We can go now.
Where's the key at to the apartment?
It's probably at home.
Okay.
I don't know. I was in a rush, but I know that it's the daytime. I can it's the daytime. I can knock on the door or something like that, or ring the doorbell. That's why when I saw the scene, I called her. I sat there because they were like, we're not letting anybody else in unless you're a true resident. I sat there for a while calling her to see if she'll answer the phone so I can kind of skip through.
So when I
Stuff like that, and I went to bed.
Who did you give the gun to?
I don't have the gun. I don't even know where it went.
The BB gun?
Oh, the BB gun? The BB gun should have been in her apartment. I mean, something like that, I would just leave it in there. I don't know it could still be in there. She might have did something with it. She might have gave it away. I don't know the company that she keeps. I don't live in Jacksonville. So for me to try and sit and count who she has around her and what objects she exchanges with them, I don't know.
After you held this BB gun to her head, you just left the BB gun there when you left?
Yeah, I did.
So you made her think it was a real gun, and then you just left it?
Actually, I tucked it in a drawer. And left.
Which drawer?
It wasn't any use to me. Like in the kitchen, not in the kitchen. I put it somewhere high so kids couldn't get to it.
What drawer is high?
There was a drawer where there would be like pots and pans, and there was another drawer where.
So the gun you wanted to make her think is real, that she thought was real, that you held to her head.
She panicked. I tried to scare her because I knew I knew that she had that 22. That's like with the 22. I saw that in her apartment. I didn't take pictures of that, but I knew she had it, and she would
Yeah, because she didn't hold it to your head and threaten to kill you.
No, but what she would do is anytime me and her would get into arguments and stuff, she would go and show her mother stuff. So when she would show her mother stuff, she would try to make it manipulative.
Don't do this. Don't do this. I love you. I love you. Don't do this. Those words ring a bell to you?
No.
Daddy hurt mommy.
That's not true.
What
I wasn't there.
That's not true? Is that what you're gonna say when you're sitting in a courtroom and that interview gets played?
I wasn't there.
What do you think a judge is gonna think when you tell him this? That, oh yeah, I just found a BB gun. Oh yeah, I just happened to have the BB gun with me when she threatened me with a knife. Oh yeah, she knew it was a BB gun. Oh, I just held it to her head. The fact that on the same day that I held the gun to her head, she sent a picture of a Glock 43X, which is the same gun that I know and carry. The same gun that I said I had. I pulled a gun.
You
texted her and said you pulled a gun.
But me not giving you details about the BB gun, I would just say, yeah, I had a BB gun on me. I wouldn't tell you where I got it from.
We know it's not a BB gun.
No,
we know it's the Glock 43.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. And that's the truth. Even when you talk about my location from last night.
Do you think anyone's believing that?
I wasn't there. I mean...
You were there. You just said you were there.
I was there earlier today, around 6, but I wasn't there last night.
I'm talking about when you were holding the gun to her head.
No, when I held the BB gun to her.
The Glock 43.
When I held it out, yeah. I mean, I was over there then, but I think that she thinks if you look at a picture of that gun and if you look at a BB gun, she wouldn't know.
How many women are in your rotation right now?
I deal with her and I deal with someone up north.
She found out about something. Something went wrong last night. You need to tell us what. You know the police got called out there very early yesterday morning, right around the time this all happened. People heard things. Your own son heard and saw things.
I mean, you've been in an apartment. You can hear neighbors, especially if there's gunshots going on and doors getting kicked in.
I mean, I'm just trying to think.
Especially if someone's laying on the ground
doors kicked in.
Especially if someone's laying on the ground screaming, "You don't have to do this.
Doors
I love
in.
you. You don't have to do this. I love you."
Doors kicked in.
Doors kicked in.
So it was a forced entry.
You tell me. You've never kicked her door in before?
No.
Because you're not violent.
Y'all were talking about the bedroom door that you broke.
I mean, the bedroom door, I didn't kick that. She and not out was like a push, and the door was already messed up, and I paid to get it fixed. But no,
that was after she went and hid in the bedroom.
No, I never kicked the door.
And she said that you followed her in there.
She used to overly exaggerate.
You didn't deny it in the text message. You didn't say you're lying.
That's stupid. In a text message, when you're talking to a person and when you're arguing and when you send a rebuttal back to them, you don't like for her. She used to take the text messages and show them to her mom. So if you look at some of the messages, I used to have to correct what she said. I stopped doing that because I knew what I was doing. I knew that I had control of the situation. I know that I would never harm her, especially with me knowing that she was pregnant. I know that if I would have went over there, if I was to go over there last night, it would have been for me and her to it probably would have been for me and her to kind of get close. It probably would have been to have intercourse or something like that if I would have went over there last night. Because
she didn't want to.
No, she'll tell.
She's been trying to get you out of her life.
No. Look at.
She wants you to sign over the rights to your kids.
No, that's not what she recently said. Yesterday.
I just went through all the messages. She didn't say anything about not doing that.
No. That's what she said Tuesday to make me upset. If you look at what she said yesterday.
She didn't recant that at all.
Yes, she did. Look at Yes, she did.
I just read through all of them.
No, I can show you. No, I can show you.
Unless you deleted it.
No.
From July 8th.
No, I can show you.
Today,
I can show you. I showed you a TD Jakes text that I sent her. She said that means you want to make the family work. Right after that, she was like, "Come home," and I had to straighten her. I was like, "I don't live there. That's not my home. I'm out here." Look at the text, and you'll see that she wanted to make things work. She was upset because I wasn't speaking to her. If I wanted to make everything work out, all I had to do was call and say, hey, I want to come over there. Hey, come grab me or come pick me up. Or
The last three things she said to you was nothing about coming over. Says, I'm happy you think this is funny or that I'm joking. Goodbye. I'm a stalker? Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, I told her she
You
was a stalker.
are not important. None of that seems
You sat
like...
there and withheld all that information, Larry, because you're like, let me see if these dumbass detectives are going to find all this stuff on their own.
No,
And then I'll deal with that. And you had sat there spinning your wheels thinking about all this stuff all day yesterday.
No, I told her she was a stalker, though.
But now that we found all this out, now you're having to answer for it. Why didn't you bring it up earlier? Why am I having to confront you about it?
Because I know that I didn't do anything to her.
But why would you not reveal the most crucial stuff about
because when
I'm asking you about violence in your history?
When it comes to the privacy of my relationship, I didn't feel like.
So you'd rather protect the privacy of your relationship with a woman who's dead?
Guilty or innocent, there is no such thing as privacy during a murder investigation. The police aren't going to take you at your word that the information isn't relevant, and it will only cause them to dig deeper.
That has a fetus inside of her.
I didn't even know that she had passed away.
Then help us figure out what happened.
I didn't even know that she had passed away until I spoke to you guys. Until we sat at this table, I didn't.
What did you think we brought you down here for? Why didn't you ask? I had to tell you.
No, I asked you. Of course, yeah, you had to tell me because I kept asking. Once when I got there, JSO, they said, we can't tell you. It's an investigation going on. And then another hour went by. They said the same thing. On my way here, they said the same thing.
Okay.
And then once we sat down, that's when you guys were like, well, I mean, I was still speaking like I thought she was alive. I was asking questions, even when I was talking to my stepdad on my way there.
Were you just hoping that she was still alive? Because you didn't know after you panicked and ran out of there?
I didn't even go over there. I wasn't there. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what was going on. The first time I found out that something happened to her was when we sat at this table. When we were at Mission Point, I asked the officers, I said, what's going on? I said, did somebody get kidnapped? Because I saw so much tape everywhere. So at that point, I just didn't know what the hell was going on.
You're trying to lie your way out of this, man. It's not going to work.
No, I did not know. I honestly didn't.
I sat here earlier, I listened, and I rolled with you, and I rolled with you, and I rolled with you.
I'm telling you the truth.
And now look.
I'm telling you the truth. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened over there until you guys told me. I didn't even know it was a forced entry until you just told me that. I didn't even know that my kids were in the laying on their mom or laying in there when it happened until you just told me that. I didn't know that it was a murder until you told me that.
Daddy shot mommy.
I didn't know what was going on until you guys mentioned what happened. For my kid, who knows, man?
She ain't got no other man in there calling three. If you're still coming around and y'all are still a thing, she ain't got no other man in there. She's got her kids calling daddy.
I've had her. She said to me one time that she wished she had a daddy. She said that to me one time, and I started looking out for her a little more. But she said stuff like that, daddy. She said stuff.
No,
like
you don't have to do
talks.
this. I love you. You don't have to do this.
That's how she talks. Like, she'll call a man daddy. She said to me, she was like that before I met her. That's how she is.
And she's gonna let her 3-year-old call another man daddy, knowing that you still come around there.
She only sees me once a month, if that. I don't even stay in Jacksonville.
Where'd the 43X come from?
When I originally purchased it, I think that I had bought it from Shooters.
From Shooters?
Yeah, but one day
How long? What year? When did you buy the 43X?
Like last year.
You say like last year? When?
I can't recall. I don't remember.
I mean, summertime.
Might have been. Could have been.
About how long do you think you had it before you reported it stolen or missing?
Maybe 6 or 7 months, probably. Maybe longer. I'm not sure. I would have to look at the receipt. But when it comes down to it, I know that I left it in her apartment one day, and it was gone after that. And I hadn't really seen it since. And that was back in maybe January. I wasn't even over there when I reported it stolen. And she was trying to look for it, help me find it, stuff like that. But I think that she had stolen it. I think that she had a guy that she was talking to on the side, and I said this to her one time. I told her, I was like, whoever you're dealing with, they need to return my gun. And she was like, I said that one time, but there's no way to verify that. But
She told you last night you're not important. And you didn't like that. You couldn't handle it. You went back over there. And she didn't want anything to do with you.
I didn't go over there. I said, she and I, we would insult each other. I know who I am. I'm comfortable in my skin. So she said worse stuff than that to me. And I didn't budge or say anything. So at the end of the day,
You're saying all this with a smile on your face.
No, because it's funny. No, it's funny when she says stuff like that because
What's
she
funny?
and I. No, because she and I, we're a couple. Like she'll insult me, I'll insult her, and then we would go on about our merry way.
Like you just said earlier, you weren't really interested or didn't really.
No, I still love her.
Prod around if she was messing with other people, this and that.
Because I can't monitor that type of stuff. Because if I stayed in Jacksonville and I knew that I was gonna see her every day, it would be different because I can monitor that type of stuff. I can clock it. I can say, you work from this time to this time every day.
Why didn't you stay in Jacksonville? Why'd you leave?
I wanted better for the family. I wanted her to move. That was another one of the texts we had last night. We were talking about her moving up north.
I didn't see that.
If you look at my phone,
I just read all the way back through to the 12th again. I didn't see that.
No. If you look at the text, there's a text from yesterday that said that I wanted her and the kids to relocate up north.
How are you gonna play that, knowing that you have a girl up there?
I know I don't really have a girlfriend up there.
Well, you said you had a girl up there.
No, you said how many chicks do I have? Yeah, that's my girlfriend, and I had a friend, but it's not like a girl who I go on dates with. It was a girl who, I would socialize with every now and again. Nothing serious, no photos, nothing public, no real dates. It really, if you want to talk about it, she's the only woman that I was truly dating. But I have flirted with another female. At the end of the day, if you look at the text, you'll see that I chose to tell her. I told her that I wanted her to move with me.
I see where you say you trashed your apartment and pulled a knife, and then you got mad because I grabbed my gun. And then she sends a picture of the door completely shattered, not from just tugging on the door like you said. And then you say the only thing I broke was the door. True. So, that's contradicting what you're telling us now. And then sends a picture of a Glock 43X.
Yeah, but if you look at the Glock 43X, that's probably an older photo. I did mention
everything on the counter is the same as when you
I don't know how she set everything up on her counter. I don't know how that went.
That's silly, man.
I'm serious.
That's silly.
I'm serious. Even when
it's not even a creative excuse.
No. But seriously, even when you look at our text messages from yesterday, you'll see where I said I prefer you and the kids to move up north, and that was when she said, "Well,
2 out of 3 texts yesterday, she said goodbye. Stop talking to me.
That was late. No, that's not. If you look at the trend of our text messaging, look at 2 text messages before that.
I'm looking at the ones where she's saying you're holding a gun to her head.
I'm looking at the ones where
she's saying you broke her door. I'm looking at the ones where you said yes, I grabbed my gun, and where you said yes, I broke the door.
All that stuff is old.
In an effort to further discredit Young, he claims that she is bipolar. The detectives allow him to ramble on, since he is only damaging his case with little to no effort on their part.
And
From
it was
2
a,
weeks
and
ago.
it was a BB gun, and that was the last time I saw her.
You didn't say I grabbed
The
a
last-
BB gun. You
the
said
last-
I grabbed my
A
gun.
gun, a BB gun, it's
The
the
same
same
gun that she
thing.
took a picture
It's the
of.
same. No, it wasn't.
Yes,
no,
it was.
no, it wasn't. And the last time I
This
saw,
mythical BB gun that you just found outside and then now
it's not.
gone.
It's not.
and is now
It's not mythical. If you
missing.
go in her apartment,
It's not
probably
there.
right
We searched
now.
the whole apartment.
We've
It's
been
not
in her
there.
apartment, bro. We've been in her apartment all night.
It's not there.
Even when you look at our text messages, you'll
How
see.
can you explain the BB gun being gone? It's not there.
I don't stay there. I
The
don't.
BB gun that you just found randomly outside.
I don't live
The same
there.
BB gun that you just happen to have
I
when she pulls a
don't. I
knife.
don't live there. I don't know who
Not the
comes and
Glock
goes.
43X that you bought last year.
I
Not the
don't-
Glock 43X that you reported stolen last year. Not the Glock 43X that you held to her head.
I
Not
didn't.
the Glock
I didn't hold. I
43X
did
that
not
she takes
hold.
a picture
No,
of.
I did not hold a Glock
Not the
43.
Glock 43X that you are known to carry.
I did not.
Not the Glock
I-
43X that you
I
said
did not
that you
hold a
pulled
Glock
because she
43X to her
threatened you with a
head.
knife.
I did not hold a Glock 43X.
Not
to
the
her
Glock
head.
43X that you shot her
I
with.
did not hold a Glock 43X to her head, and I did not have that gun in my possession. The last time I saw that gun, the Glock was like in. The last time I really had a firearm was a Taurus, and it was a friend of mine. It was a 40 caliber, but I didn't need it.
Why did you have that?
Just
How long ago was that?
that was maybe like last week.
Who was the friend?
Just a friend of mine.
What's his name?
Shoot, what Nick?
Nick what?
I don't know Nick's last name. I mean, it's just.
Where can I find Nick? I just gotta verify
Is he
this.
on
I
your
just
phone?
asked.
You said last week.
No, it's
He's
not
gonna
irrelevant.
remember.
It's not irrelevant.
It's a friend named Nick that lets you hold a 40 and you don't know his name.
It's I don't know his
You
last
don't have a
name.
number?
Where can I?
for him?
Where can I find Nick?
Probably on the north side somewhere.
On the north side. So how do you get in touch with Nick?
It wasn't something that I was carrying. I'm just being honest.
Where's
You
the
said
40
you were
now?
carrying it for a little
Where's
while.
the 40 now?
Oh, I'm not. It wasn't on my person, but
You
that's
did.
the last type of gun
Yeah,
that I was
Hold on.
Right.
around.
Everything,
Hold on.
man.
Who's Nick? Let's get this. Let's clear this up. Who's Nick?
Nick is a guy out of the neighborhood.
What's his last name?
I don't know.
What's his phone number?
I don't know.
How did you get in touch with him?
Just being around.
Being around where?
I was at the park. My grandmother's house, the 6622 Kenlock address. Just being. I'm not talking
The
about.
one you got trespassed from?
No, I don't get trespassed.
You
The
did.
one you just told us that you since 2 weeks ago you haven't been in Duval County. You've been down in Green Cove or in
Yeah.
yeah. But now you're up in Kinloch.
That was around the same time when
You
I
said
was.
this last week you were holding
No.
a 40.
That was the last time. I'm being honest about. My point is.
You're not being honest about
No,
anything.
no. My point.
You're not
no,
being honest about anything.
No. My
'Cause you
point-
can't-
no.
now 'cause you
My
just
point with
made
the
up
four-
this
no,
Nick
no,
that we can't
I'm not
find.
making up anything.
Then who is Nick?
My main
Who,
point.
no, who is Nick?
No, my main
Who
point.
is Nick?
It's a guy in the neighborhood. He's not
It's just
really
a
a friend.
random guy in the neighborhood letting you hold his 40?
Everybody in the neighborhood. I didn't like carry it anywhere, but we talked about guns. The last time I had a real gun around me was when I held his.
That's not what you just said. You said that he was letting you
That
hold it
is
for a
what
while.
I just said. Yeah, he was just letting me hold it. And
Earlier
just
you
kinda-
said that you had it for months.
But I didn't say I had
Yeah,
it for
well,
months.
play back the tape.
I
know you did.
had my own 40.
You said you had both.
I had my own 40.
Oh, so now there's another 40. Now
Okay.
that you won't tell us who Nick is, now that I'm calling you on your bluff and you're getting
No, I'm
you're getting
I'm
caught
telling
up
the
in
truth.
another lie.
No, I'm not lying. I'm
because
telling
you're just
the truth.
skirting around it. Then
No,
let's
I'm
go
telling
find,
the truth.
Then who's Nick?
It's a guy in the neighborhood. If we sit at the park or something,
How
he'll
did
pass
you give the
through.
gun back to him?
I mean, we sat. I didn't care. Like I wasn't carrying it around on my person.
So how did you get
We
it?
talked
How
about-
did you get it back to him? Explain it.
We
Tell
talked
us about it.
He was just showing it to me and stuff
I
like
was
that.
like, here, just hold it.
I was holding it. Like
Just take it with you.
No, I didn't take it anywhere with me. I was holding it. You asked me about a gun, and you tried to say that the last gun I was around was a Glock 43X, and I'm telling you that the last.
You said
gun,
the last gun you had.
You said no. I said the last gun that I was around was
you
a
changed
40.
that after I started asking about Nick. I said that you said the last gun that you had was a 40 that your friend let you hold for a while. And earlier
No,
today,
I had-
earlier today, you said you had it for a couple months.
I had
and then
my-
you gave it back to your friend.
No, I had
And now
my-
that I asked you who Nick is, you said, "Oh, I didn't really hold it. I just I was next to it, and I don't
That's
know
not-
who
that's
Nick
not
is.
what I'm
I don't know
saying.
Nick's last
That's
name.
not
I
what
don't know
I'm
where
saying.
Nick stays at. I
That's-
don't know
that's
Nick's
not
phone
what-
number.
that's not what I'm
I
saying.
don't know anything.
The Glock.
Every time we're confronting you with something,
No,
you're
but-
skirting around it,
no, but
making
what-
more lies,
no, but
and
what
coming
I'm-
up
no,
with
but
more
what I'm-
stories,
no, but when
and
it
none of it
comes-
makes any sense.
No.
Hey, just take a deep breath real quick. When are you going to realize that everything you're saying is just silly? And it can't be substantiated. It can't be verified.
I'm being
and you're
honest.
just you're not being honest about a
The-
damn
the-
thing.
the Taurus
you are
for-
not being honest about anything.
The last
The
Taurus-
only
the last-
honesty
listen,
that we've said
no,
in here,
honest God truth. Honest God truth.
the only honesty that we've said in here is don't do this.
No,
I love you.
No, but the
don't
honest
do
truth-
this.
No, but
you
listen.
don't have to do this.
I don't know what you're talking
Daddy
about.
hurt mommy.
That's not true. The last Taurus, if you look at my record of guns that I bought with my own money, you will see that I purchased a 40 caliber Taurus from Shooters Jacks. That gun is missing, but I didn't report it stolen. I looked for it, I didn't report it stolen.
How long ago was that 40 caliber Taurus?
I bought that gun like 4 years ago.
So you just told me
Maybe
that the
3
last
years
gun
ago.
you had was a 40 caliber Taurus.
The
If
last-
we asked you what happened
Yeah,
to
the
it,
last
we
real
asked you
gun.
what happened to
The
it,
last-
you said you gave it to your
No,
friend Nick.
the last
and I
real,
said,
no,
who's Nick? And
no,
now you
the
just
last,
fabricated a whole story. You made up Nick.
The last gun
You
that I
made
was
this whole
real,
thing
no,
up.
the reason I told you that was because you tried to make it like the last gun that I had in my possession was
You
a
brought
Glock.
it up.
Was a
Why
Glock.
2 shots? Why'd you shoot her twice?
Shoot who?
Why 2 shots?
I didn't shoot
Why did
anybody.
you shoot the mother of your children twice?
I didn't shoot her.
Fired 2 shots in an apartment last night. Why?
No, I didn't.
How could you leave your 2-year-old and your 3-year-old
I
in
didn't.
the apartment with her
I
that
didn't.
whole time?
I didn't.
How can you say you're just so calm and cool?
Because I'm being honest.
I gave you 2 options earlier. I gave you the path of emotional, things went down, something bad happened, I'm not a bad person.
I
this is
wasn't
what
even
happened.
there.
And then cold-blooded killer, I'm gonna
I
lie,
wasn't there.
and I'm gonna protect myself.
I wasn't there.
Damn her, damn them kids, damn that unborn baby.
No,
I gotta
no,
look
no,
out
no.
for her.
I
This
would
is
never
pure
do that.
evil.
I love my children.
This is pure evil.
I love my children. I do anything for my kids. I would never leave my kids in an apartment.
Would you do
I would
anything
never,
to stay
I
with
would
your
ne-
kids?
I would never leave my kids alone by themselves. I would never leave my kids unattended.
You would do anything for your kids.
Yeah, I do anything for my children.
You would do anything for your kids. Nothing could separate you from your kids.
Then why don't you just
except-
stay at home,
except
work
distance.
home? Why didn't you marry her, stay here, work, and live with her?
Because
and be
I started a
family?
life up north, and if you look
Why?
at the
You had
times,
kids here.
yeah, but I was doing better than what she was doing. I was the breadwinner, so the best situation for us to have would have been for her to just come where I was at.
But instead, she wanted to terminate your rights. And
She
you
was
just
just no,
said-
she was
you
talking.
just
She was
said-
just talking crazy.
She wasn't just talking
If you look
crazy.
at the text messages,
We've gone
No,
over
look
it
at- no,
3
no,
times
no,
now.
no.
I've read every single one of them. You just said you do anything from your kids. Nothing could separate you from your kids. She was trying to separate you from your kids, and there's nothing that you wouldn't do. So you made sure
No.
that you and your kids were not going to be
I
separated.
spoke to her about that termination of rights, and if you look in the text
I
messages,
looked in the text messages.
look at
It's
the
not
text.
there. I just
You'll
read
see-
it
look
3
at the
times.
text, and you'll see that she
Because
said, she
I'm
was
going to
just
bring up the
playing.
text, and
She
you're going to
wasn't
create some
serious.
new story
She
that
wasn't
doesn't
serious.
make any
She
sense.
wasn't
again.
serious about that.
She
She
was
wanted to
dead
get married.
serious.
She wanted to get married. She wasn't
She
serious
used to,
about that.
not anytime soon,
Why
not
didn't
since
you
you
marry
She just talked about. She just said she wanted to get married yesterday.
Not in the text.
Look
she
at the
didn't.
text messages,
I've
and
been
you'll see
looking at the
that.
text
Why didn't
messages.
you marry her? You
She didn't say
kids with her,
anything
why not?
about
I'm just waiting. Just
For
waiting.
what? You don't have
We-
any problem keep having kids with her. Why not?
I
Marry her
mean,
and live with her.
we were moving into my building.
She says,
permanently.
you want to marry me. This is 3 weeks ago. You want to, no, this is in June. This is over a month ago. You want to marry me, but you keep me hidden. You moved up north. You want nothing to do. You're not present.
You didn't want to post her.
She wanted
You
to
didn't
get
You
want
didn't
married.
want to post her.
This was just her life that you wanted to have that little
No.
life pinned tucked away when
No,
you're back in
she
jet.
wanted to get married,
She
and
didn't want to get married. I just looked at the
no,
text messages.
that was her trying to say she was upset. She said, "You keep me hidden."
I'd be upset too if someone held a Glock 43
No,
at my head.
no.
I'd be upset too if someone broke my door.
I
I'd
did
be
not
upset
hold
too
a
if someone
Glock
threatened my
43X next to anybody's head. And her saying that I keep her hidden, that's just her talking about how she felt about my social
Here
media
comes
presence.
another story.
No, that she said.
Sit back
She
and
said no.
see
That's
what you
what
gotta
you
say
just
about
said. That though.
Because you keep saying, look at the text, look at the text. I look at the text.
Yeah,
I read the
because
text.
every time
And it's not saying, this is your phone. This is your text messages. That's not lining up with anything you're saying right now.
everything that she said when it came down to
There's what you're fabricating
No.
in your head. And there's what's in here.
Everything
And
that
they
she
don't
said,
match.
even when she said something about termination of rights, I mentioned that to her, and she was like, I would never do that. X,
She
Y,
never
and
said
Z.
that.
She did. If
She
you look
never
at
said
the
that.
text, you'll
I'm
see that's
looking
what
at
she
the text,
said.
and I read it, and then
That's what she said.
nothing's making sense with what you said.
I didn't have any reason to be that angry with her.
The police went through all of the messages from Armstrong's phone, including the messages from social media apps. None of them contained what he described to the detectives. Before we continue with the case, I wanted to let you know that right now is the best time to get anything from my merch shop in preparation for the holidays. Whether it's a gift for a loved one, a friend, or just for yourself because you deserve it, StrangerLabel.com has everything that you're looking for. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, beanies, socks, and even mugs. Plus, almost every item in the shop was designed by me. So head on to StrangerLabel.com and use the code STRANGEHOLIDAYS to get 15% off your entire order. And don't forget, you can leave me a short message once you check out. I'll be reading your messages at the holiday dinner table. So expectations are high. And with that said, let's get back into the case.
I really didn't.
What went wrong in that apartment?
I think that she and I sometimes we just used to argue, but I didn't stay with her. I didn't live with her.
You argued and it turned into a lot more than that. It
What do you
escalated
mean?
to violence.
What do you mean?
It escalated to conversations about guns being put to heads
I
and knives
mean,
being
even
pulled. By your own admission, she pulled knife on you more than once.
Yeah, but I'm not.
And you're just sitting there acting like you did nothing wrong.
No, but I'm not fussing about it because
Why did
I
she
got
pull a
used
knife
to that
on
type
you?
of stuff.
Why'd she pull a knife on you?
I was being nonchalant. I was being passive aggressive. She pulled it out on me while I was holding my daughter.
You can stop the passive
No,
aggressive.
seriously, don't seriously.
I got report after report, woman after woman,
no,
including your own mom, that
even the first time, I was holding my daughter, I was holding her, and she pulled the knife out on me. So
why?
Because she was upset, and I wasn't paying her any attention. I was paying my kids more attention than I was paying her.
So she pulled a knife on you because you're paying attention to your own kids?
How
was that being passive
She was fussing at me and arguing with me about something, and I chose to ignore her.
And so you pulled a BB gun on her?
No. After she pulled a knife on me, and after I set my daughter down and got my son in check, then I grabbed the BB gun. She didn't even know it was a BB gun.
Did she follow you around with a knife while you set your child down?
Yes, she did.
Where was that BB gun even at?
She pointed it at me.
Where was this BB gun even at?
It was in a book bag. It was in a book bag.
Whose book bag?
I mean, I had like a book bag. I had like a clear book bag, and I had like a black book bag. I keep like a laptop in.
Is this when you were staying there, or you just happened to come over?
No, I never stayed there.
So you had just brought.
Anytime,
you brought two book bags with a BB gun in it for no reason.
No, anytime I come in town, that's me visiting. Anytime I come in town.
Why did you bring the BB gun over there?
Cause my thing is, the reason why I don't have a gun.
Why did you bring the BB gun over there?
I found it in the complex.
That day?
No, not that day.
When?
I can't remember.
A week, a month, a year, a
a
day?
It was on one of my visits.
So you take it up north with you?
No, you can't take guns on planes. That's why I never carried a gun.
So it was on that visit you found it?
I don't even have a gun.
Why did you bring the BB gun over there?
The BB gun was already over there.
Okay, so now it was already over there.
Yeah, but...
Okay, and you put it in your bag? Why?
I mean, shoot. If I go outside...
How many guns have you bought yourself?
2 guns.
The Taurus 40
The Taurus
and the Glock 43X.
Yeah.
You bought both those from shooters.
Yeah.
Taurus 4 years ago, approximately, you said?
Maybe 3 years.
And the 43X was last year.
Yeah.
And you gave the Taurus to Nick?
No, I didn't give anybody that gun.
What is that?
No, you guys, when we talked about guns,
What
Where's
happened?
the Taurus?
What happened to
No,
the
stop
Taurus?
I don't. Oh, that
Where's the
gun.
Taurus?
I don't know.
Oh, that gun.
No,
That's the
no,
one I just asked you.
no.
about.
I can show you a message where
No, I don't want to. I want to know what happened to the Taurus 40. Stop thinking and answer the question.
honest God's truth. I don't know.
Honest God's
One
truth.
time, no. One time I was at a girl's house.
We don't need any more crazy
It
stories.
was stolen.
What
It was
happened
taken.
to the 40?
It was taken. I said that I didn't report it when it was stolen. I said that.
When
How
was
would
it
you-
stolen?
You know how
It
I know
was-
when someone's about to tell me a lie? Because they started off with honest God's truth.
No, I can show you in Facebook Messenger where I wrote a person about it.
I don't want you to show me. I asked you to tell me, what did you do with the Taurus 40 caliber? Where is it? What'd you do?
I don't know where it's at.
You don't
It's
know what
I wrote-
happened to a gun that you bought.
Was it stolen, or do you not know where it's at?
Somebody stole it from a girl's house.
What girl?
A girl I used to talk to named Ashley. Her name was Ashley.
When was this?
I can show you the text.
When was this?
I can show you the three.
When was this?
Click on Facebook
When was
Messenger.
this?
That might have been. Shit. That might have been. It was over a year ago.
Over a
It's
year.
been missing for a while.
So that went missing, lost, stolen, whatever thing you're coming up with
Yeah.
before you bought the 43X.
You want me
Yeah.
to go get you a shovel real quick? It'll help you dig this hole deeper that you're digging.
No, I'm
Just
just
be
being.
faster with a shovel.
No, I'm being honest.
You're not being honest about a damn
When
thing.
it comes down to the Taurus 40,
What are you being honest about?
I'm being honest about everything. The Taurus 40, the
Name,
girl.
tell you one thing you've been honest about.
Listen. I asked.
I've been listening for hours, man. You haven't told us anything. You're just
I did-
spinning. You're just spinning all sorts of
I said when
craziness.
it came to the Taurus, the 40 caliber Taurus.
The one that you missed, the one that you lost, the
No.
one that was stolen, the one that Nick's got, the one that you had for months, the
I
one that
can't-
you
I
only
can't help
touched,
if people
the one you
steal.
only saw from Nick.
I can't help
You told
if
us-
people steal.
You told us 10 different
I
stories about
can't
the
help
Glock
if
to the
people
40.
steal. But when I mention,
But you don't even know if it's stolen.
no, but the only reason I
Is
mentioned,
it stolen or is it missing? Or do you not know what happened to it?
At first it was missing and then it became stolen. I left it at a girl's house.
Do you know what happened to it?
I think somebody she was dating took it, but she told me she didn't know where it was. And she said that in Facebook Messenger. On Facebook Messenger, she told me, she said she doesn't know where it is. She doesn't know who took it. She just knew it was missing.
You just leave a gun at her house?
I left it by accident.
Oh, of course. That makes sense. Of course.
No,
of course you did.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I left it by accident.
What happened to the Glock 43X?
I don't know.
You don't know? Or you
No.
missed it?
Bro, you know a lot of stuff tonight, but you don't know what happened to 2 guns. You have an answer for
I don't.
everything.
What
I don't
happened
stay.
to-
I don't
what
stay
happened
in
to the Glock
Jacksonville.
43X?
Really,
What happened to, where's your Glock 43X?
I felt like she stole.
Where
no,
is your Glock 43X?
I don't know. I felt like
I can promise you that's not the face I saw tonight. It was covered
felt-
in blood, bullet holes.
I felt like she stole it because
You felt like she did? Where did you leave it?
it used to be at her apartment.
At her apartment?
Yeah,
Why'd you leave it at her apartment?
that was when I had to report it stolen.
Did you
after
always
that-
leave it at her apartment?
I left Jacksonville in December, so
And you didn't leave it at your parents' house?
No, I left it over there at her apartment because she needed protection for my kids and stuff.
But she's
And-
got her own gun.
You said she had a 22.
I didn't know. I didn't see the 22 until
What
maybe
happened to the
around
22?
March. I didn't see 22 till March.
Where's the 22 at?
I don't know. That's her stuff. I don't know. The 22 is.
Tell
is
me about
hers.
Tell me about a time where an incident was your fault. With one
No,
of these
but-
speakers.
but-
no,
but-
I want to hear when was one of these situations your fault? When did you do something wrong? When did you start the altercation? When did you do something that deserved the reaction?
The
you
wrong
got?
thing that I did was when I took the BB gun out. When I took it out and when it looked like I made it look threatening. I made it look threatening.
How'd you
Um,
make it look threatening?
I just made it look threatening. I made it look like it was.
Show me
real.
how. How'd you make it look threatening?
I mean, I grabbed it and I was like this. But
Like what?
I grabbed
Explain it. You've been explaining so much stuff in detail. Don't shy away here.
it. I was holding it like.
Holding it where? Where were you pointing it at?
A person's not used to me carrying a weapon. A person not used to me seeing a gun in my hand.
She's
and
used
stuff.
to it.
No, she wasn't.
You've purchased 2 guns. Did you buy those guns to not carry them on you?
No, the first one with the Taurus, I slept with a girl one night, and I didn't feel comfortable in her apartment, and I took my firearm in there. But when I left her apartment, I left the firearm there.
Hold on. You went into her apartment.
Yeah.
You slept with her, but you didn't feel comfortable there.
That was like a while. That was over a year ago.
Bro, you.
About 2 years ago.
So it was 2 years ago it was stolen?
Maybe over a year, between a year and 2 years. But I never reported it stolen. I kept asking. I threatened. No.
So first it was a girl you were seeing. Now it's a girl that you just
The
were
reason-
sleeping
let me
with.
tell-
And then
no,
so
let me tell you-
which one is it? Were you seeing this girl?
Let me
Or
tell you,
did you
no.
just have a one night stand? No. Let's
No,
dive into this, because every time you come up with a story, it's bullshit.
No, I can tell you.
Who
No, I
is
can
this?
tell you the truth. I can
No,
tell.
no, you can't.
No, what
You're
I'm saying.
incapable of telling the truth about
I can tell you.
anything.
No, I can tell you the truth about that gun. With
No,
that
you can't.
With that 40 cal Taurus.
No, you can't.
The
Was it a
no.
year ago or was it 2 years
No,
ago?
I trusted her.
Was
I
it a
trusted
year?
Her.
Oh,
I
now you trust her.
No, that's not the
Were
girl
you seeing
Ashley.
her,
The
or
girl
was this-
Ashley.
I don't know. You
and-
tell me.
Yeah, me and Ashley. We just
Before
had-
you said there was no girls in between your baby mama with a
me
5-year-old.
and Ashley.
Hold on. First, when we started, you had your baby mama with a 5-year-old, and then you had this most recent one.
Me and Ashley
then
had
now there's
close friends.
multiple girls in
Me
here.
and Ashley were affiliated by friends.
Were you seeing her, or was it a one-night stand?
Um,
Because you've told us both. I don't know what to believe.
She and I, we had a thing going on years ago, and then we met back up.
But you weren't comfortable with her.
I just didn't trust where she stayed at. I'm not gonna say I didn't trust her, but I didn't
You're
trust
trying
where
to
she
lie to us like
stayed at.
you're trying to lie to us like we're one of your chicks, man.
No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest because the reason that I didn't
You're not
report,
being honest about anything.
No, the reason that I didn't report that 40 stolen was because I figured that if I put enough pressure on her, she would give it back to me. So I told her, I was like, I said, hey, if you don't turn up with it, I'm going to report it stolen. And if I report it stolen, whoever has it, they'll end up going to jail.
You ain't no street dude. This ain't your life, man. You ain't no street dude.
Exactly, I'm not a street dude. So when I
Because
was,
you're terrible at lying.
no, I'm being honest.
About what?
If you,
What are you being honest about?
I can show you the thread.
You can't show me a thing in here, because everything that you've said in here is not true. It doesn't exist.
I can show you the thread when
No, you
it said with Messenger on it.
Man
and
up,
you'll
bro.
see-
Man up.
I am manning
You
up.
put two rounds in that girl last night. Man up.
I didn't.
Man up.
I really didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
You might not have wanted to.
I wasn't even over there.
You might hate yourself right now for
I
doing it.
wasn't
You sat
there.
around all day thinking about it.
I was never
You knew
there.
we were going to come to you.
I was
so
never
in your
there.
brain, I'll go to them.
No.
I'll look like the innocent
I was
person.
never. If
Let
I
me
would,
go over there.
if
Let me
I
show
if I
up.
would have known
Let me
that,
show up, show out. Let
if
me
I
show
no, if I would have known that anything took place, I would have went straight to her mother's.
You knew we were going to
I
come
would
for
no.
you.
I
That's
would
why
have
you
no.
showed up.
No, I would have went to her mother's house.
This whole time you've been trying. This is a game to you. You've been
It's
trying
not.
to lie your way out of this.
I'm not lying.
Let me show up as a concerned father without
I
the
would
key.
no. I would have went to her mother's house if I
You
would have
didn't
known
even
something
ask
happened
about
to
your
her.
kids. You were here for hours before you even asked about
I did
them.
ask about them.
Not until we brought them up.
No, I asked. I
That's
did.
why you called her mom, because you knew what would happen. Mom
One of the
would go over there
main
and
one of
get
the main
key.
reasons I couldn't ask about my kids was because I didn't know what was going on.
Why didn't you
I
go
didn't
over
know
there and check
anything.
on her?
You just said you asked about your kids, and now you said you didn't ask about your kids.
Yeah, but pertaining to you guys knowing where me knowing where my kids are now, I did not know that anything
Why'd
had
you
happened.
call her at like 2 o'clock in the morning knowing she was dead? Why did you call her?
I didn't know that anything happened.
Did you buy both guns at shooters at the same time, or did you buy them at two different instances?
2 different instances.
You said the Taurus was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Nick. You said Nick ended up with the
No.
Taurus.
He didn't end up with my Taurus. He
That's
didn't
a
have my
different
Taurus.
40.
He didn't have my Taurus.
So we're talking about 2 separate Taurus.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I was saying the last time I was around a real gun outside of that Glock 9 was when I was around a Taurus.
So the
That's
bottom
what I
line
was
is
saying.
you've bought 2 guns within the past few years that you purchased personally
Yeah.
that you can't account for. You say you don't know where they are. What
One of
happened.
them I reported stolen. The other one with the
But
Taurus.
yeah, you have a picture of a 43X.
But with the 40 caliber.
And then there's a separate Taurus 40 caliber that some dude named Nick from the neighborhood just let you hold on to, and then you don't know what happened to that one either. You just gave it back to him at some
I
point.
mean, I didn't even really carry it around. I just said that because I just wanted to be honest about the last time I had a real gun in my presence. I probably shouldn't even mention it because it's not something that I had on my person.
So in the past
I don't listen. I don't live in Jacksonville,
Okay.
so I don't have a reason to have a weapon on me. I don't have a reason to do anything like that. And then I can't fly with a gun. You know what I mean? I can't take a gun on a flight, so.
I mean, you can. I just did it.
What-
Check it.
I mean, when you have your
What time did you show up
license
here
and
today?
everything. I showed up at Mission Point Apartments maybe around 6, and I think that
And who gave you a ride?
my stepdad gave me a ride.
Okay. And why did you come over?
I came over to make sure that everything was all right. Like, I had been calling. I called Tasheka. I called about 15, 20 times, and then I sent a text to her mom. Whenever she
Did you
and I-
talk to your mom or your sister?
I spoke to my sister earlier,
When?
maybe around 4 o'clock. She was taking my 5-year-old back to Charlotte when I called her. She was like 2 hours.
Did
away.
you express any concerns to your mom or your sister?
I expressed concerns to my sister because my sister and Tasheka, they kind of get along. So
Did they express any concerns to you?
no.
Armstrong's family was in frequent contact with Young, so it is odd that he didn't ask them if they were also having trouble reaching her.
So I with my sister Jatangela, her and Tasheka kind of get along. So I was like, hey, call her. Maybe she see your number, she'll call me or do something. And I kept calling her, and that was when I texted her mom and called her mom. And then that's when I showed up out there. When I showed up out there, that's when I saw the scene, and nobody wanted to let me know what was going on.
There's a fact that I've presented several times tonight. Detective Kelsey has also, though, that you seem to just gloss over like you don't. Daddy shot mommy. I mean, you haven't attempted to try to explain. Like,
At the end of the
it's a
day,
big deal, I think. Don't you?
no. I mean, at the end of the
That's
day,
your son.
that's my son, and us men.
You were just there
No.
last week.
Us men, we take things like this serious, but I don't know what she does when I'm not around. That's why when I'm up north, when I'm 1,000 miles away, I try not to get too jittery about that type of stuff, because if you're somewhere so far away where you can't catch a flight and get to somebody, a person will lose sleep over that. So I got used to not, once you with a person and you guys have solidified the relationship, some things get swept under the rug.
Were you solidified though? I mean, that doesn't. Those messages, the conversation, the history. I don't see anything solid about
She
that.
wanted to get married, and I wanted to get married too. I wanted to get married.
I'm just saying,
well.
solidified. You just called the relationship solidified, was it? She's saying bye.
Our
I want
presence.
to know you. Sign over the rights to the
That's
kids.
what we both talk like that to each other. But at the end of the day, we never mean it. If you look at the last thing she said to me, she said, I sent her something. I was talking about, how a woman. We were talking about women and men, the difference in running a household or something like that. And she was like, does that mean that you finally want to make the family work? Or does that finally mean that you want to get married? She said that to me yesterday around 4 something in the afternoon. And I didn't respond. And today she's dead. I wish that I had responded to her.
Well, you seem like you've convinced yourself of that story.
It's the truth. It's the truth. She would get nasty with me whenever I wouldn't budge for her.
You never got nasty with her?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't say that I did. But at the end of the day, I knew that we still loved each other. I knew that me and her could get through anything. I knew that she and I would always be in each other's good graces.
Until she didn't want that anymore.
No, she did.
Until she was finally done.
No, I'm telling you, she did want to.
These situations always eventually end up finally done.
No,
and you weren't gonna let that happen.
No, she wanted to make us work. She wanted a family.
Yeah, she wanted a family. She wanted a real man to commit to her and be there for her. Not someone running around hiding her, not wanting to post her.
If you look at the message and we talked about it yesterday.
How many social media applications you got? You got Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah.
How many pictures of her on your Facebook and Instagram?
I archived them.
How many pictures of her are on your Facebook and Instagram?
Right now,
Meaning nobody can see them, right? You don't have any pictures of her.
that's why she felt like I was hiding her.
Why were you?
I really wasn't. I felt like we need to get married first before I do all of that.
She was done. She knew what you were doing.
No, she wasn't.
You were keeping her in the shadows while you did what you ran around the country doing what you wanted to do.
If you look at the text messages, you'll see that she said
she was done, bro. Done.
She wasn't.
She was ready to cut you out.
Yesterday, I told her. I said
she was sick of the back and forth. She was sick of knives and guns and drama and doors being kicked in.
Yesterday, I told her. I said I wanted to move our family up north. She said that we need to be married first, and then I'll come. She wanted,
AKA commit. If you want me, show it and commit.
Yeah, but
you couldn't do it.
No, I could have done it.
You could have, but you chose not to.
If I would have showed,
she was done.
No, she wasn't. If I would have showed up yesterday and said, "Let's get married," she would have said, "Let's do it."
No, because if that's what you really wanted, you wouldn't have spent the last week in Middleburg. You'd have spent the week with her. You're in town. That's where your kids are.
No, I mean, but
you're gone all the time.
But she and I.
Why not take advantage of every minute here to be around her and your kids?
But she and I, we were engaged, and we put the engagement on hold. She had her engagement ring. Sometimes I guess that she would wear it out. But when it came down to
you weren't done playing, man. I mean, she called you on it.
No, I think that when it came down,
she was done. She called you on it. You weren't done playing. You weren't ready to commit. You didn't want to be what she wanted you to be.
She loved me.
She loved you,
and
but she was done.
Too. She really wasn't. If you look at the whole conversation that we had,
you can love someone and not want to be with them anymore.
No, yesterday she said that she wanted to be with each other. Even if you look at this past week's text messages, you'll see a message in there when she says,
I don't have to look at past weeks. I can look at last night's.
Armstrong is in denial about the state of his relationship with Young. If it was going to end, it would have to be his decision. Young making that choice herself was enough to push him over the edge.
She didn't want you in her life.
No, when she says
she didn't want you in her kids' lives.
That's not the truth.
She didn't want you to have any rights to her kids.
That's not the truth.
Because you wanted to go play up north.
No, that's not the truth.
You didn't want to send them any money.
That's not the truth.
You didn't want to have anything to do with them.
That's not the truth.
You wanted your free space that you said.
She would make that stuff up.
You're in town and you're staying with your parents. You're not even staying with her.
She knew I loved my kids.
You haven't seen her in a week.
And she knew I was active in my kids' lives.
You haven't seen her in a week.
She knew that I would never leave my children's lives.
You didn't see them for a week. You're living
I was
north,
talking
the other end of the country.
The last time
you wanted nothing to do with her.
No, that's not true.
And the second she tried to cut you out of her life, you couldn't handle it anymore.
No, that's not true. But I needed space.
Why'd you need space? You live up north.
Which one of those pictures is when you met her?
The last time I saw her was last Saturday.
Which ones is when you met her?
I've known her since I was in the 9th grade.
She trusted you, she loved you, she wanted it forever, and this is where it got her.
I didn't do anything to her. I would never touch her.
Just pull a BB gun on her.
I've known, BB gun. But I would never hurt.
Send pictures back and forth of knives and guns.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's something all couples had that type of stuff going on. Sometimes I didn't even feel like I had to mention it.
That's how you left her. That's what you did to her.
I didn't do that.
You see your kid's blanket right there on her?
I didn't
do that. That's how you met her? That's how you left her.
I didn't do that.
Do you know who put that kid's blanket on her?
I didn't do that.
Your 3-year-old kid. You know where your 3-year-old kid laid for hours?
I didn't do that.
By himself, by herself, left in that apartment alone.
There should have been 2 casings next to her where you shot her, but one of those casings was in your kid's room because they were running around playing with stuff in the apartment all day, left unattended on their own.
I wasn't over there.
That's what happens when you hold a Glock 43X to someone's head.
I should have protected her.
You should have.
From yourself.
But what'd you do instead?
I wasn't there.
You should have let her go. You weren't ready to commit. She didn't want that anymore. She got so sick and tired of that bullshit back and forth that she was ready to let go.
She was so in love with me.
She was ready to let go, no.
She was so in love with me to the point
not anymore. She wanted to let go.
That's not true.
Absolutely
I knew how she felt.
She said goodbye. She said she wants your rights.
Look, she
of the
said,
kids taken away.
look at how many times we both said goodbye, and look at my response when I told her, I said you didn't even apologize.
Not important.
No, I told her, I said you didn't even apologize to me about talking about the stuff with the kids' rights, and then she told me, she said, you know, I didn't mean that. I said it because I was mad, and I said you need to apologize to me. And that's when she sent me a text message. And she apologized.
She was laying right there when she said, "You don't have to do this."
She sent me a text message.
She said,
"I
love
apologized.
you. You don't have to do this."
I don't know.
Daddy hurt mommy.
And you knew those kids were going to be there. That's why you locked the door on your way out.
I don't know who she was dealing with.
Her mom had to use the key when she went in there today.
I don't know who she was dealing with.
The only person that's going to take the time to lock the door and try to make sure it's at least somewhat secure is you, because your kids were in there and you knew that.
I want to find.
But you couldn't call her mom. You had to wait. You had to wait all day long to make it look like, I don't know what's going on. I can't get hold of her. You couldn't call right away.
I never.
You
called
had to
mom.
wait because you went into self-preservation mode.
No,
Let me save myself.
No, I never call her mom. When me and her would get into arguments and stuff, I would never get her mom involved. So when it comes down to it, you know, I just like to handle stuff like an adult. But when I saw that I kept calling and I kept texting and she didn't respond.
You and I both know that's what you did to her. There's no one else that came in there and did that. You did that.
I didn't.
You did that.
I didn't.
You got pissed off. You got emotional.
Why would I be upset? She said worse stuff than that.
You shot her in her own bed. The same bed you probably conceived that baby in her stomach in.
I've never.
The same bed that you used to have sex with her and that you conceived that baby in, there's a bullet in that pillow, right where she laid her head last night.
I didn't touch her. I didn't do anything to her.
All that back and forth bullshit, guns, kicking doors in, pulling guns, this is where it got you.
I didn't do anything to her. I didn't touch her.
Just tell the story, man. What happened?
I did.
Tell the story.
The last time I saw her.
No, I don't need to hear all that.
Last week.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
This is the last time you saw her. This is the last time you saw her.
It's not. I didn't even know what happened to her until y'all told me.
As the detectives have pointed out, Armstrong has asked very few questions since being taken into custody, a behavior that doesn't match his claim of being a loving and engaged father. All of his thoughts are focused on self-preservation, and he is as willing to sacrifice his children's well-being as he was to sacrifice Young.
Your sister knew what happened. Your mom knew what happened.
Who?
Your sister and your mom.
When?
They knew what happened. Before you showed up on the scene.
You didn't go.
They had been contacted.
Really?
They knew something was wrong.
Well, why didn't anybody contact me?
Why'd you show up at the scene?
Oh, we were going to contact you, and you knew that. That's why you showed up. But you came without a key because you knew you'd already called her mom, or you left her mom to find her like that, so you didn't have to.
No, I showed up over there because I called her.
You were hoping to never see what you did to her.
I called her countless times. I tried to go in there. I didn't know that she had even had anything done to her. I did not know. I didn't know what happened to her until you guys told me when we came in here.
You think it's a coincidence that 2 weeks prior to this, you broke her door and you held a gun to her head?
I don't think that.
And then she's found with gunshots and a broken door. Isn't that a little bit of a coincidence?
Daddy shot mommy.
I didn't do anything to her.
You don't have to do this. I love you.
I didn't do anything to her, and I didn't go back over there. Once I left there last week, on that
After you held a gun to her head and kicked her door in?
A BB gun.
Your phone might not have gone back over there, but you did.
I
don't know why. Actually, I wouldn't know because you deleted your location history after the 15th.
I don't.
That's why you were very quick to say it's been a week since I've been over there, because that's what your phone shows.
No, I just know where I've been. I didn't know that anything happened to her. I didn't even know that my family had been contacted about something that happened to her.
Why wouldn't they contact you?
I don't know. Maybe they were worried about how I would have handled it.
You handled it just fine. You haven't seemed to.
Right
you
now,
haven't seemed to have an issue at all.
You'll see.
You weren't even concerned about her when you showed up and you saw police everywhere.
I didn't know what happened.
You didn't even ask about your kids for hours until we mentioned them.
I didn't know what happened. How can I ask about something that I don't know?
How did your family know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let me tell you this. If you dropped your son off at his girlfriend's house, police everywhere, police tape, people standing everywhere, and the second you walk up, your son walks up, they take him into custody, what would you do? Would you drive away? Would you go see why he got taken into custody? What would you do?
I didn't know that my kids had gone into any type of custody.
Listen to me. No. Listen
when
to
I
me.
got
Listen
there,
to me. You have theoretically, you have an adult son. You drop him off at his girlfriend's apartment complex. There's tape everywhere. There's police everywhere.
Yeah, I told him that it was. He asked me. He said, "Am I dropping you off, or am I supposed to wait on you?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "Maybe she'll be able to bring me out to Middleburg after I head over here." Once I got there, they said that they weren't letting anybody else outside of residents go into the buildings. And once he said that to me, they didn't want to tell me what happened. So I started walking back towards the car, and he said, "Hey, I need you to come here." So I asked him, I said, "What's going on?" I didn't know what's going on.
Was your dad still there, or did he just drop you off and leave?
He sat there for a minute because I guess he was trying to see what was going on too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he knew. If my mom and my sister knew,
what about when they took you into
custody? To him. I didn't see him after that.
Okay. Had he already left before you were taken into custody?
I don't know. Once they took me into custody, it was hard to kind of.
Do you think if
pay attention.
Do you think if he saw you taken into custody, he would have come and seen what was going on?
They had the whole area blocked off.
If he saw you being taken into custody, do you think he would have come and seen what was going on?
I don't know.
Or do you think he cares?
Stepdad. Maybe he didn't care. He probably didn't even want to give me a ride. I don't know.
Were you still there when the police came and knocked on the door?
Knocked on what door?
Knocked on her apartment door last night. Were you still there? After you did this, how long did you hang around?
I was never there. The first time that I showed up at that apartment complex was around 6 p.m. That was my first time going over.
So it's your position that some random guy that maybe she was seeing, maybe she wasn't, that your 3-year-old son also calls daddy.
I don't know. Like, a lot of guys know that she loves me. A lot of guys, and some guys get jealous of that. You know, I'm a guy.
Which guys are those? Which guys are those? Because earlier you said you didn't know anything about any guys. So you just said a lot of guys know that she loves you.
I mean, I've been out and guys.
Has she told you about other guys?
No, but I've heard stuff. But
have you confronted her about other guys?
I just don't pay attention to gossip.
Have you confronted her about other guys? Have you asked her about other guys?
Yeah, I have asked her.
What did she tell you?
She's had times where she said stuff like, no, she doesn't feel that way. She loves me. No, she would never deal with another man. Just like in that picture, she said, in a text, she said, no, me and you have 2 kids going on 3. I don't want any other man. I just want you. Like, she said that stuff.
How did you calm the kids down afterwards?
Calm the kids after what?
Did you have to go put your hand over their mouth?
What do you mean?
Did you tell them not to say anything?
What are you talking about?
Did you tell your son, don't say anything?
After what?
After this happened.
I wasn't there. I didn't do anything. The first time that I got to that apartment complex was this afternoon. That was my first time being there since last Saturday.
Since last night?
I wasn't there last night.
How does me telling you that she's passed away send you in a, bawling, curling up and everything, but these pictures you don't have any reaction to?
You're asking me questions. I feel how I feel, but I still have to be strong in this situation. I still have to. My kids, I have to deal with my kids. I have to worry about raising them. And I have to do it as a single parent.
You didn't worry about them when you left them there.
You think you're going to have custody of your kids after this?
I don't know.
That was a grand plan in your mind. That ain't going to work.
Maybe between her mother and me. I don't know. Maybe her mother can keep them. while I'm up north and I can come and visit Jacksonville again. I don't know, but that's how I'm thinking after that stuff happened. She was a great mother to my kids, and I didn't want anything to happen to her.
Of course she was. She maintained the kids while you ran around the country doing...
She tattooed my name on her wrist and her hip and different things. Like, she loved me.
That's what she wanted at one point in her life, and then
No,
she gave up.
No, if you
She
look
knew
at...
you were never going to come around.
If you look at the text messages...
We looked at him. She told you goodbye. She told you were nothing. She told you she didn't want you to have any rights to the kids anymore. That's what she said.
That's not what she said. She said...
We read them to you.
No, she said, I want you to terminate her. And then once I said something to her, because I stopped talking to her after that, I said, why didn't you apologize to me about saying that you want me to terminate my rights? She said, you shouldn't have. She said something like, you shouldn't have taken me serious. You know I was just angry when I said it. And we talked about making the family work again. Like,
it was never going to work.
It could have.
You held a gun to your head. You kicked her door down.
No, I didn't kick her door down.
You came back and did it again.
No, I didn't.
And then shot her in her own bed.
The last time.
And then left your 2 kids there with her dead, laying there.
I didn't leave my kids anywhere, and I didn't do anything to her. And that's the truth. The last time that I saw her.
Get a good look, bro. Next time you see those pictures, might be in the courtroom.
The last time I saw her, she did not look like this. The last time I saw her...
That's not how she looked when you got over there last night.
I didn't go over there last night. I wasn't there.
It's funny how you have an answer for everything except the actual important stuff, like these guns that are just missing out there in the wind somewhere.
I mean...
Why you came all the way across town without a key to get inside the own apartment that you knew your kids were in and you couldn't get hold of their mom.
I mean, all I had to do...
You didn't need the key and you knew you didn't need the key.
All I had to do was knock on the door.
How are you going to do that if you can't get a hold of her?
A person was willing to make a blank trip or a good trip. It's been plenty of times where I stopped over there before and she just opened the door for me. She would just open it for me.
You acted like earlier that, you know, she might be seeing other dudes you don't really know.
I
you
don't
inquire
know.
too much into that. But so why all the violent arguments?
I mean, for me...
What were the violent arguments even about? Why did she pull a knife on you when you held your daughter?
I've been in Jacksonville for about 2 weeks now. Since I came back. Maybe 2.5. I'm not sure specifically. But, you know, when you stay in a different place than a woman who you plan on marrying, it takes away a lot of the mess.
Why were you... Go back to earlier what you said. Why do you have to stay at your parents' house? Why can't you stay with her and your children when you're in town?
I mean, the last time I came for a long time, I had hotel rooms. Like,
why? Why can't you stay with the mother of your children and your own children?
I'm a man. I like to have my own living arrangements. I'm used to being in my own space. I'm used to being in my own
Why not
place.
just stop messing with her then? Why not just leave her alone, let her go on about her life?
Because it wasn't that type of situation. She and I...
Why not let her go be with a man that was going to commit to her and marry her?
She and I, we've always been committed to each other. And we still are. We still are committed to each other. We still are. Even through it all. We just had a tough time. We've had tough times.
She didn't want you anymore. She was done.
She did.
She said you were nothing.
That's not true.
Nothing.
She said it in a text, but she was just trying to be mean.
No, she said you were nothing.
No, she was just trying to be spiteful. Like most people do when they upset.
Over the last 3 weeks, she said nothing.
She said
it's been all arguments.
No, she said that after she said, you don't love me.
I'm happy you think this is a joke. Goodbye. You don't care about me.
No, look at the text before. The text before that, she said something about how I feel.
Why you focus on the text before that?
You have pride issues.
She said that stuff because she felt like I just didn't want to get married. That's what it was about. She felt like I just didn't want to get married. That's why she was upset.
She was going to start holding you accountable. She was going to go to the courts. You were going to get put on paper.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, even if she would have went...
No more of this. You can pay what you want.
Come and
go as you please.
She knows that I gave her more in support than what she would have gotten if she would have taken me to the courts. She knew that. That's why she would never do it. And then we would always make it work.
I know you still like her. Please just leave me alone.
Yeah, she was just talking. She said stuff.
That's
like
all
that.
she's saying. She doesn't say anything decent in here. She doesn't say that she wants you. She doesn't say she wants to be with
I
you.
think you're skipping
I'm
text
not
messages.
skipping. I'm reading through them.
It's a lot of messages in there that say other stuff. Like even
No,
when
they're
she
not.
apologized, even when she said, "When are you?" She asked me. She said, "When are you coming home?" She was like, "I want you to come home." Like
Being a
she
parent
asked
isn't
me
a
that.
sometime job. It's a 24/7 job, 365 a year, no days off.
Yeah,
I'm not about to beg you to help me
Yeah.
because you're not around because you want your space.
No, she asked
You
me.
don't want to be around.
No, she asked me for something extra, and I had already given her what she needed. I said, "Wait."
You haven't given me any money.
I
this
said.
month.
She said in 3 weeks. She said you haven't given me anything in 3 weeks. That's what she said. 3 weeks. She didn't make that much money, so I ended up giving her more money than what she would have gotten in child support, just to make sure that she was good, just to make sure she was taken care of.
Young had her own career and was able to care for herself and her children without Armstrong's help. He is hardly the breadwinner in the relationship, but he feels the need to justify his importance in Young's life.
She was taken care of. Not unless she's no longer your problem.
She wasn't a problem, so.
Did the gun go off accidentally?
You really know how to hurt me. I don't think I'll ever be the same after this.
Oh no, she was talking about social media when she wrote that.
There goes another excuse.
Yeah,
man.
she
You got an
was
excuse
she
for
was she
everything.
was immature.
You got an excuse for
If you
everything.
look at it, you'll see she'll say, "Oh, that's what you put on your social media." She put something else like, "Oh,
don't you want our family?"
yeah." She asked me that. She wanted to get married.
Yeah, but she can only go to do that, so she finally realized you were never going to. So
No, she didn't realize.
You just need to apologize and tighten up. You couldn't even apologize, sir. I didn't do anything to you. You turn in the blame, just like you're doing now. You're turning the blame on her. She asked you to apologize. You said, "I've got nothing to
She wanted
apologize
to be a
for."
fact because she had.
Here. What's the excuse now? You've always got one.
There's no excuse, but I look at things how they are, and a lot of times she would give me a hard time.
It was a mistake to text you. It won't happen again.
No, she
Everything
said
you've
that
said
because
tonight has made-
she said that because she felt like I wasn't
You
responding.
can't
to
hurt me anymore because you never loved me, and I realized that just now.
You've made yourself the victim in every situation.
No, she was just. You see that she was playing a victim in those situations.
She's a victim of aggravated battery and aggravated
No,
assault when you
she's-
held a gun to her
No,
head.
she's the type of
She's
person.
a victim of being a single mom when you ran up off north and you're not supporting
No, she
her.
would. I support.
And the second she wants to cut ties,
She did, and she
You
didn't
can't-
want to cut ties. And I
how
overly
does any of
supported
those
her.
texts I just read
No, that's not
say
right.
that you didn't want to cut ties? You
She
said you didn't
didn't.
want to have anything
She
to do
just
with them.
said, don't you want our family?" That tells you that she just wanted to be married. She just wanted to be married.
Yes,
That's all
keep
she
it about
wanted.
the kids, superhero. I have nothing to say.
That's
to
what
you.
I said. No,
that's what she said
No,
to you.
no, I made a Facebook. No, I made an Instagram post, and it said It said like Batman single, Superman single, and then I put, "Oh, I must be single," and she was like, "Oh, all right, superhero," and that she got upset about it.
She asked you to stop being
I
mad at her
should've
because
did-
she
I
was
should've
really
did that in her
depressed because of how
face.
you were treating her.
She got upset. She wanted to be married. All that stuff
And you wanted nothing to do with her, so she moved on, and you couldn't handle
No,
it.
I don't think she moved on, but
You broke her door,
But I do
you
think
held
that
a
she
gun
was
to
seeing.
her
I do
head.
think she was seeing somebody else.
Just-
I won't contact you or reach out to you anymore.
I do think that she was seeing
You just
somebody
wanted
else.
to
though.
have. You just wanted that when you were in town a few nights a month.
I think that she was seeing somebody else though.
Do you think how you handled me is love? Ask yourself that. I hope you
I
enjoy
don't know.
yourself last night because you were pushing me further and further away. You couldn't even answer the question, how would it make you feel if you never saw me again? And you don't answer the question. You go hours without answering a question.
A lot of times she would just.
I won't contact you or reach out
A
anymore.
lot of times she would over.
You had nothing to say to that.
She used to over exaggerate stuff.
You're at apparently you're at a hotel party this whole time. No wonder you're not responding. Because you're out with other women, with other people. You're having a great time without your family. You don't need them.
She was ready
It was
to move
more like
on.
a gathering.
She was ready to move
It's
on.
more of a gathering. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
she
sorry.
was.
It wasn't a party, it was a gathering. My bad. I was mistaken.
She was
Of
ready to
course it
move on.
wasn't.
And it wasn't a party. It was like I had a drink with a friend.
No,
I
of course.
I was being nasty. Like she likes to be nasty.
You were being nasty, all right.
Yeah, you know how she'll say something, and you know how she'll say
All
something,
she said is
and
she
I'll
wants
say
nothing to
something
do
too.
with you.
No, she.
That's all she said.
No, she did. She wanted everything to do with me. She wanted everything to do
I
with
feel
me.
like I need to go through your message. I think you know my ex-wife, man. Y'all got a lot in common, bro. Y'all been the victim of everything. Y'all
No,
always
but
the
I'm
victim.
saying no. But the point he keeps going back to in the text messages is saying that she didn't want anything to do with me. But on the flip side, we just saw the message that said, "Don't you want our family?" That tells you that she wanted everything to do with me. She was just angry when she sent that to me.
She was ready to move on.
She was just angry.
You can only gameplay for so long. She's ready to move on.
I
She
think-
wanted a man.
When I get to
think if me
Connecticut,
and
I'm
her-
only coming on holidays. Talk to you later. So you didn't even want to come see them. You were happy to be out.
I was saying that out of anger.
That was your little hidden away family.
Did you just shoot her out of anger? Did you just break her door out of anger? Did you
I
just
didn't.
hold the gun up to her head out of anger?
I didn't touch her.
I'm not fooled by you, man. You got a very violent side to you.
I didn't
Very
touch
violent.
her.
Yeah, you're hiding it, and you
The
think
past-
you think you're good at it.
The
You're
past
not.
didn't.
4 women you've been
I
with,
didn't
you've
do
been
it.
violent.
You snap.
You took a gun
I
to a
didn't.
woman's house.
You get emotional and you snap.
Your own
I don't.
family trespassed you
yeah,
against
you
their
lose
house.
control.
I don't.
You're
My
calm,
family
cool,
doesn't
you're
do
a
anything
player.
like that.
You're smooth with the ladies and all that until this happens. Until they say, "Hey,
I
and
didn't
this
touch.
is your child's mother." You can handle the other women. That's
I didn't touch her.
She had to start therapy. I'm mentally drained. I had to start therapy.
She had mental.
I'm getting therapy for our son
she
too
used to
because
take-
of how you
she
treat
used to
him.
No, she used to shake my son. She had mental health issues.
You wouldn't answer the phone. You hung up on me.
She had mental health issues.
Why did you block her number?
Yeah, I didn't want to talk at certain points. She had mental health issues.
You disrespect me so much. I don't know why I reached out. Your ego is going to cause you to lose your family for good.
She
you
wanted
don't
to make,
lo-
she
yeah,
wanted
you
to make
don't
the
love
family
me.
work.
Where does any of this say that?
I wanted to make the family work as well.
Why? You were going to
She-
gatherings
no,
at
no,
hotels
but it's-
without her.
no, but she
you
wanted
said
to
you,
do things
She
on
said
her
you when you get to
terms.
Connecticut, you're not coming
No,
back.
that was a
You
lie.
weren't
She-
giving her. You
that was-
said you
I
texted that
said
to
it,
her.
but I didn't mean it.
Why didn't
Oh,
you
of
just let?
course.
Why didn't you
I was
just
just
let her
being
go?
mean.
Why didn't you just let? After all this, why didn't you just stop in the communication?
I
Let it go?
mean, she loved me and I loved her. And at the end of the day,
You don't
she
care
tells
that you
she's
hurt
showing
me.
that she
I'm
loved
pregnant. I'm not even eating. I really don't think you love me at all.
That's
You
love.
didn't respond.
Those pictures are love. That's how you loved her. You loved her so much you left her like that.
I would have protected her. I would have never had her.
You
looking
just said,
like
"I
this.
guess I'll be a single parent raising my kids." Now this is your plan,
I
man. That's
would've-
what you wanted,
No.
not her.
Uh-uh.
You couldn't control her anymore.
No, that's
She
that's
finally was breaking free of your
no,
grip.
that no,
You
that's
could not
no,
control
no.
her
That's what
anymore.
I would have to do, based on the now.
You were losing control.
No, I
You said
wasn't.
She was
she
done.
said I want us
No,
to get
I
help,
never
and you
lost
sent her an
control.
emoji with no mouth because you didn't want to talk because you didn't want to get help because
No,
you were
it's
happy
because-
in your
No,
relationship.
she wanted us to go to
You-
counseling.
Yeah, and you didn't want to.
Yeah, I just ain't
Oh,
having
there's
time.
that gun again, that Glock
I
43X
just
that
didn't
went
have
missing
time.
6 months before
It's
this
the,
photo
it's
was
the
taken.
same picture.
Yeah, it's the same picture as the
same picture we talked
it's the
about
same
an hour
picture right
ago.
here. Yeah.
Oh, play the audio one more time.
Oh yeah. What does that say? Oh, hold on.
About the knife.
Girl, that's the knife you try.
Girl,
Your
that's the
voice.
knife you tried to stab me
Yeah.
with.
The knife you
On the same counter as the gun.
Yeah,
What
when
was
they
the
cut-
point
when-
of that? What was the point of you doing that and taking?
No, because
No, because no. Just
I
what was
had
the
I had
point?
to do that.
Sign
No,
your
because
rights over and
no,
leave
because
us alone.
no, because she got mad with me. Exactly. She
Yeah,
kept
I would
trying-
too if you
she
held a
no,
gun
no,
against
she
my
no,
head.
she was trying to play the victim, and I told her. I said, hey. Some of the stuff that took place, I said I recorded it. Once I said that I recorded some of it, she started acting like she had some sense.
Why'd you record it?
Because he
I
knew
did-
he was in the
no,
wrong.
I didn't record it.
You did right here. You took a picture of it.
No,
You recorded
no,
yourself saying that.
I didn't record the whole altercation. I said I recorded the altercation, and she started saying that she didn't want to say anything about it and stuff because she was in the wrong. I made that up just to show that just to let her know that I knew she was in
You
the
just
wrong.
said you
I
pulled
didn't
out a
tell
knife and
anybody
that
about
made
what she
me
did.
grab my gun. All I see is you putting a gun to my head, and I think I have PTSD from all the things you've put
Yeah, a
me through.
little
I'm
BB
done.
gun. If anybody was gonna have PTSD,
You called it
should
your
have
gun.
been me.
You called it your gun, and then
Yeah, I
not
grabbed a
2 minutes
little BB
later,
gun.
not 2 minutes later, you said you threatened me with a knife, and you showed the
Yeah.
picture of the knife, and on the same counter, she takes the picture of the gun that you threatened her with.
That's
And
probably
that's not a BB gun.
that's
That's
probably-
a Glock 43X.
She probably took a picture of it because she probably had possession of it.
How did she have possession of it if 7 months before this you reported it lost?
I don't know. I don't. It was reported lost
Because
in her
it's the
apartment.
same gun that you just said that you used.
It was reported lost in her apartment.
You made me pull out my gun. You didn't make me pull out a BB gun. You made me pull out my gun. My Glock 43X. My Glock 43X.
I never had a Glock 43X on me.
Okay. It's right here. How do you say that? It's right here.
I never had a Glock 43X on me.
How do you explain that?
I never had a Glock 43X on me.
How do you explain it?
I never had a Glock 43X.
You bought a Glock 43X.
Yeah, but it got reported back in January. Okay,
from her apartment.
It's right here.
The picture of the gun
14 days ago. It's right here on her apartment.
All right, well,
the same day that she said that you held the gun to her head.
No, listen.
The same day that you broke her door.
The photo that you're looking at, that's a picture that she took, right? That's a picture that she took.
That's a picture she took.
That means that it wasn't in my possession. If she took that photo, that means that she had that gun.
She wasn't
in the same apartment.
She wasn't in possession of that knife.
And it was in the same apartment where I reported it stolen. That means she had the Glock 43X.
The same day that she had the knife? She didn't have the knife.
I took that picture.
Do you see the knife in her hand?
I took that picture. No, I took that picture after she left.
The knife's not in her hand.
No, I took that picture after she left.
After she left her apartment?
Yeah.
Or after she went
because I was getting my stuff. No, I was getting because I was gathering my belongings to leave her apartment.
She's out of the apartment when you took this photo?
Yeah, then we kind of made up that same day.
She's out of the apartment when you took this photo?
That's the knife you tried.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the knife you tried to stab me with.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
I was talking to the camera.
You took a photo?
Yeah, I was talking to the camera and I sent it to her.
You took a photo?
Yeah, like a live photo.
You don't talk to a live photo.
You just said last night if you would have went over there, y'all probably would have had intercourse. You probably would have made up. You did go over there, and you did think that's what was going to happen. And she didn't want shit to do with it.
I didn't go over there.
When's the last time y'all had intercourse?
The last time I said that I wanted to see her was... The last time I said I wanted to see her was probably on Saturday. I caught myself putting her on punishment because she wanted to see me and I wanted to see her.
When's the last time y'all had sex?
It might have been, no, it was before Saturday. She gave me...
Was it during the couple nights you spent there last week?
She had an outbreak. She had genital herpes.
Okay. When's the last time y'all had sex?
We weren't having sex because she had an outbreak. So
when's the last time?
So we were doing stuff outside of that.
When's the last time?
That was maybe for like real sex or like oral sex.
Real.
It might have been that. It might have been when I got in town.
When was that?
That was about 2.5 weeks ago.
Over 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, and you haven't since then.
No.
Okay.
You come in town, you spend a couple nights over there, and then you disappear again. That's what you wanted. That's what she didn't want anymore.
I mean, I was willing to work it out, but I just needed some time to myself. She just wanted to be married. She wanted to make the family work.
Well, you keep pumping her full of kids. How are you not ready to settle down and commit to her?
I wanted her to come up north. It would have been backwards for me to move to Jacksonville because...
Well, she didn't want to come up north because she wanted nothing to do with you.
No, she wanted to come up...
She didn't want you in her life.
She wanted to come up north with a wedding ring.
She wanted you to terminate your rights to the kids.
She wanted to be married for her to come up north. And she said that in text. She said that in the text. She did say that in the text.
Well, I just read text from the last
text message said when we get married, she'll move up north. That's what it says.
I saw you're worthless. I don't want anything to do with you.
I said the same stuff. That's an argument, though.
That's all she was saying.
That's a light argument. If you look at you aren't pointing out any of the good stuff that she was saying.
Because it's not in there.
It is in there.
That's a light argument as opposed to a heavy argument where knives and guns get pulled.
I mean, that stuff was already bygones, man. It was like nobody was worried about that.
She was worried about it. She said she had PTSD from it.
Just on Wednesday, she asked me to come over. Just on Wednesday, she asked me to come over.
I didn't see that in the text.
I could have had look. She says, "When are you coming home? Come home." Like, and I corrected her. I said, "I don't stay here. I don't stay at your apartment. I stay up north."
I just read through all those. I didn't see that.
Look on Tuesday. At Tuesday when she said that to me.
It's not in there.
It's in my text messages.
We've gone through this like 4 times now.
I remember the conversation.
It's not in your text.
You got your story, man. You stick to it.
I remember the conversation, though.
Just remember, your kids were running around there holding the casing from a bullet that you fired into her.
I didn't fire
any... Whose blanket is that on her lap right there?
There's a bullet hole in that pillow right there.
That looks like my kid.
Do you think during the 17 hours they were left there that maybe they took a nap? Maybe they tried to curl up with their mom because she wasn't waking up
I don't know.
because they were just left there? Do you think they got hungry in 17 hours that they were there by themselves?
I would never do that.
Why wouldn't you commit to the woman that you put 3 kids inside of? Why would you not commit to her?
It was on the itinerary. It
It
was
was
on.
on the itinerary.
You couldn't even spend a week with her.
Yeah,
You
I
wanted
mean,
your free space.
Yeah, I wanted to stay. I wanted to
You
visit
didn't
my
want.
mom.
You haven't seen her in over a week.
I wanted to visit.
You haven't seen your kids in over a week.
Your mom just
No,
trespassed you.
but we would FaceTime.
Your
no,
mom that trespassed you from your grandma's house.
That was you talking about last year.
Talking about October.
She didn't trespass me. My
It's on the
sister.
record.
It's
No,
documented.
no,
documented.
no. My sister.
Your sister's not in there.
My sister does stay there. My sister lives there.
Your sister's not the one that trespassed you.
Nah, but my mom was trying to. I don't know what she had going on. Me and her were.
What do you
kinda
think your kids
arguing,
did for 17 hours by themselves?
And I wasn't trespassing.
What do you think your kids did for
It's a long
17
story.
hours? 17 hours by themselves. No food, no water, no one to take care of them. Their mom laying there.
I
After
don't
they
know.
just watched their dad do that. Daddy hurt mommy.
I didn't do anything.
Daddy hurt mommy.
Why
And
is
daddy
he
told
saying
them,
they watched me do something?
don't tell anybody.
What? What? That means that it's another man that said,
Did
don't
they
tell.
call daddy?
Could have
Nick.
been.
It was Nick. Nick did it, I bet.
Oh yeah, it's probably the same Nick.
Nah, she doesn't know him.
You don't know him.
Nah, I know him.
Who is he?
Nah, just a guy who's up the street from Kenlock.
Yeah, of course.
That's running around with your Taurus 40 or his Taurus
No,
40
he
or
doesn't
some
have my Taurus.
40.
He had his own. That was just the last time I was in the presence of a real firearm. That was why I mentioned it.
Not the Glock 43X.
No.
I bet Nick broke in and stole the Glock 43X.
Probably. And the Taurus 40.
I doubt it. I don't know. You never know. But I don't even think he knew where she stayed at. He wasn't that close to me. You know how sometimes you just know people from around the way. But I know that he didn't take anything. And, you know, I just wish that I had been with her.
Are you violent?
No, I'm
These
pretty
people are just all lying on you?
I'm pretty passive aggressive.
You've used that
I'm
term quite
pretty-
a bit tonight.
No, I'm saying I'm pretty sure like
Is that passive aggressive? That's your definition of that?
Your past 4 girlfriends think you're all passive aggressive?
9 times out of 10, yeah.
They all called the police because you were just being too passive aggressive.
No, I called the police on your car.
They all made police reports
I
because you were
called the
being
police
too
on
passive
her.
aggressive.
I called the police on
They've
her.
got to go to
once.
therapy because of PTSD because of your passive aggressiveness. They trespass you from family's house because you're passive aggressive.
A lot of times, no, I wasn't.
They don't want you to be in their
I
life because you're
wasn't.
passive aggressive.
I wasn't
They
trespassing.
want you to
at my
terminate your rights to their
grandmother's
kids
house.
because you're
And
passive
she
aggressive.
didn't want my She didn't
You
want
break
my.
a door because you're passive aggressive.
She did not want my
You hold a
rights
gun
to be
to someone's head
terminated.
because they're passive
She
aggressive.
didn't want my rights to be terminated.
Why would you continue to impregnate her when y'all are going through all this drama?
Because at the end of the day, she and I would always work it out. That's why.
Didn't work it out this time.
We would always work it out.
Is this working it out? Is this how you define working it out?
I'm not responsible for that.
Leaving her there saying, please don't do this, I love you. Don't do this, I love you.
I'm not
Just think if you
responsible
had
for that.
committed and you had been a father to your children and a husband and been there for her and your children and your family, this wouldn't have happened then. You could have used your Glock 43X to defend your family last night had you been there.
Man,
Had you not wanted your own space.
When I lost that gun back in January, I wasn't even worried about it.
Well, maybe you could have died defending your family and she wouldn't be laying there like that then. But you needed your own space.
I mean, I wish that I had been around.
No, you don't. You said you wanted your own free space.
No.
You said you got a hotel.
To keep
You
something
said
like
you were
that
a man.
from happening.
You said you were a man and you needed your free space.
I don't know who
You said
had
you're a
it out
man
for
and
her.
you're staying at your mom's house.
But
you
I
said
didn't-
you're a man and you're
Yeah,
in a
I
hotel
have my
room.
own place up north. I'm visiting.
Away from your family.
Yeah, I'm visiting. I came because I had a heart
Visiting who?
diagnosis. I
Who are you
came.
visiting?
My doctors are in Jacksonville.
Who are you visiting? You're not visiting your family.
No, I was
You haven't
staying
seen
at
them in
I was
over a
staying
week.
at my mother's.
You wouldn't shoot her and do this to her because you don't pull real guns on her. You just pull BB guns on her.
I wasn't in her presence.
Yeah. All right.
With my phone.
Bursey Armstrong was initially charged with second-degree murder. Since Tasheka Young was 4 months pregnant at the time, that resulted in a second murder charge. Armstrong was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. That's the end of today's video. If you liked what you watched and want to support the channel, hit the like button and check out my Patreon link in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.